To lead things off for us, Joe Tate, and here's Joe to tell you that it is
a beautiful night for baseball. Thank you, Herb. Good evening, everybody. Mark Belanger, the shortstop, hitting .204, 6 runs batted in. Did not play last night. He's 4 for 22 against the Tribe this year with 1 run batted in. Cal Ripken coaching at third, Jimmy Fry at first. Defensively, the Indians have sorted at first, Kuiper at second, Blanks at short, Bell at third as Clyde Wines throws the first pitch of the game, a fastball, strike one. An outfield for the Tribe of Grubb in left, Manning in center, Dade in right, Alexander catching, and left-hander David Clyde on the mound. 4-3 on the year, 2 of those wins against Baltimore. The curveball high and outside, and the count evens at a ball and a strike. Orioles 42-36 for the year. They're 22-22 on the road. Wind up. 1-1 pitch. Fastball high and outside. 2-0. Orioles have lost 9 of their last 11 ball games. Wind up and Clyde's 2-1 pitch. Belanger hops a chopper down the third base line over Bell's head, going down the foul line, picked up by Grubb. Belanger digging for 2, and he is in with a double. Belanger chops a ground ball over the third baseman's head and down the left field line. Good for 2 bases. And that is the first hit of the ball game. Rich Dower steps in. Dower hitting .270 with 4 homers, 20 RBIs. Last night's ball game, he went 0 for 4. First pitch to him, chop back to the shortstop Blank. Marvell gets it on the high hop, throws to first. Dower is out, and Belanger takes third. 1 out. And this will bring to bat Ken Singleton. Singleton, a switch hitter, .286, 7 homers, and 31 runs batted in. 1 for 4 last night. Kenny hitting .295 from the left side, .255 from the right. David Clyde winds up, and here's the first pitch to Singleton. Fastball low, good stop by Alexander, ball 1. Good crowd at the stadium, and they're still coming in. Pitch, swing, and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Just about an hour before game time, the skies parted, and the sun shines, and the crowd responds to the announcement on the Fanagram that the Tribe has extended manager Jeff Torborg's contract through the 1979 season. 1-1 pitch to Singleton, slaps the ball back to the shortstop. Blanks will make the play to first as Belanger scores, and it's 1-0. Singleton with his 32nd RBI of the year. And this will bring up Eddie Murray. Murray, a switch hitter, goes to the right side against the left-hander, hitting .274 with 13 homers, 50 RBIs. 2 for 3 last night. Murray leads the Orioles in home runs, RBIs, and is at .321 since the 1st of June. He's the only ball player on the Orioles club to play in them all this year. Pitch to Murray. Check swing, pitch low, ball 1. So the Orioles lead early, 1-0. Looks in, gets the sign. Here's the wind-up and the 1-0 pitch. A curveball outside. Ball 2. 2-0. Indians are 5-4 now with the Orioles this year. Here's the wind-up of the 2-0 pitch. Murray chops it foul over to the third base dugout. Hits the front step and bounces to the warning path. Mike Sweeney, the bat boy, runs it down, and the count is 2-1. Indians will be in Detroit tomorrow night and will come home for Boston on the weekend. 2-1 the count. Wind up. 2-1 pitch. Fastball inside, and the count on Murray is now 3-1. Next pitch to Murray. Slaps it foul down the first base side. Right through the ball boy into the bullpen. 3-2. Top of the first, the Orioles had scored a run. Clyde with a payoff pitch set for right-hand batting Eddie Murray. Murray stepping back. Steps back in. Here's the windup. 3-2 pitch to Murray. Bouncing ball back to the shortstop. Blanks with it. Going to have to fire, and does in time to retire the side. 1 run, 1 hit. Nobody left. At the end of 1/2 inning of play, the Orioles won, and the Indians are coming to bat. Cleveland Indians and the Baltimore Orioles meeting in the second of a brief 2-game set. Well, that first game in New York is over, and Zachary threw a 2-hitter at the Phillies. And the bases loaded smash by Mazzilli won it 4-0. Oh, you 2-hit the Phillies. You have done a job.
And Zachary was named to the National League All-Star team today.
And his record is now 10-3. Philadelphia had no runs, 2 hits, and 1 error. While the Mets had 4 runs, 5 hits, and played errorless ball. Rocky Colavito coaching at first. On the third base side, Joe Nothing. Stepping in for the Indians, Paul Dade. Dade, a right-hand batter at .281, 3 homers, 17 RBIs, went 2 for 4 in last night's ball game. Dennis Martinez, right-hander. 2 starts against the Tribe with no record, but a 5.59 ERA, and the pitch is foul to the screen, strike 1. It'll be Dade, Manning, and Bell. Dennis Martinez from Granada. I'll take a tip. He is from La Junta, and Dennis is from Managua, Nicaragua. Pitch is strike to the outside corner, strike 2. Home half of the first, and the Orioles lead 1-0. Pitch, Dade takes a fastball, strike 3. Well, Martinez poured one right by Dade, who gives Rich Garcia a little number on the way back to the dugout. For Dennis Martinez, he has now labored 129 and 1/3 innings. That is his 68th strikeout. He has walked 51. Rick Manning, a left-hand batter.
Yeah, a good crowd here tonight. They're a late arriving crowd. People still coming in this ballpark.
Manning did not play last night. He's hitting .258 with 2 homers, 22 RBIs, 8 for 31 against the Baltimore Orioles with 1 homer and 3 runs batted in. First pitch to Rick, slaps it into left field. Base hit. Well, Manning jumps on the first pitch from Martinez and drives it to left, and the Indians have their first base hit. Evens the hits at 1, and now the Indians will go to work on trying to even the runs. Here's Buddy Bell. Bell, the third baseman, at .304. 3 homers, 30 RBIs. He went 1 for 5 in last night's ball game. Andre Thornton on deck. Martinez goes to the stretch for the first time. Looks in. The pitch to Buddy, and Bell takes a fastball outside, ball 1. Murray at first, Dower at second, Belanger at short, DeCenza at third, Mora in left, Lopez in center, Singleton in right, Skaggs catching, and Dennis Martinez on the mound. The stretch by the right-hander, throw to first, and Manning goes back to the bag. Again, Martinez ready. Checks the runner and steps back. A 1-0 count. The stretch. Look to first, throw to first, Manning back with a hand tag of the bag. Orioles are hitting .250 as a team with 72 home runs, and the Indians team batting average now up to .257 with 48 homers. Pitch to Bell. Strike, and the count is even at 1-1. Home half of the first inning. Baltimore leading 1-0. A leadoff double by Belanger, and ground balls moved him around. Martinez the stretch. Manning leads at first base. Throw to first. Manning steps back of the bag. Martinez has not won since June 16th when he beat Oakland 6-0 for his first major league shutout. He has lost 3 since that time, 2 to Boston and 1 to Milwaukee. Stretch. 1-1 pitch. Bell takes head high. Fastball, 2-1. Actually, this has been a season of streaks for Martinez. He won 3 of his first 4, lost 2, won 3, and now lost 3. 2-0 lifetime against the Tribe. Martinez, the stretch. And the 2-1 pitch. Bell fouls it back on the screen, and the count evens again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Plate umpire Rich Garcia goes to the whisk room. Andre Thornton on deck. There's 1 out and 1 on for the Indians. Martinez looks in, gets the sign. Here's the stretch. And the 2-2 pitch to Buddy Bell. Bell takes low. Full count of 3-2. Manning at first with 1 out. Stretch by the right-hander. Checks first base. And the 3-2 pitch coming to Buddy Bell. Martinez instead steps back. Still 3-2. Now Buddy steps back. Stretch by Martinez. 3-2 pitch. Manning goes. Bell drives it into right field. A base hit. Manning around second, digging for third, and the Indians have runners at first and at third with 1 out.
And Buddy Bell coming through with that hit-and-run single. Well done.
Well, Herb, you've said it many times before, and it bears repeating. In that kind of a situation, your best man is probably Buddy Bell.
In fact, Buddy was talking about that the other day on our post-game show, the fact that this year he's changed his stance a little bit, and he feels that he just can't go up there swinging for home runs. He feels he's a better hitter when he just puts the bat on the ball, and that's exactly what he did then.
Andre Thornton. Thunder is hitting .266, 13 homers, 42 RBIs. Played half the game last night, went 3 for 4 with his 13th home run. Indians with 2 hits here in the first inning, and Manning is 90 feet away at third base from tying the ball game. The stretch. And the first pitch to Thornton. He takes low, ball 1. Gary Alexander on deck. They're still coming through the portals here at the stadium.
And a big crowd here.
The stretch. And the pitch. Fastball low, ball 2. Indians won last night's ball game 9-0 behind Paxton, and Mike will be Herb's guest on the 10th inning show tonight. Manning at third, Bell at first. 1 out. 2-0 count on Andy Thornton. Here's the pitch to Thornton. He swings and he misses, and the count is 2-1.
They're playing Andy very, very deep in the outfield. There's a lack of a breeze here tonight. The outfield is playing a little deeper. Last night, wind was blowing in. They could afford to play a step or two more shallow.
Flynn is warming in the Orioles bullpen, a right-hander. John Flynn. The stretch. 2-1 pitch to Thornton. Andy takes outside, and the count is 3-1. It opened with a called third strike to Paul Dade. Manning single to left. Bell drove him to third with a hit to right. 3-1 to Thornton. Stretch and pitch. Thornton hits a long foul ball. Look at that one go. Up off the facing of the roof by the light tower and back down into the bullpen.
That's the kind you'd like to see go in fair territory to just see how far it might go.
3-2. Well, he hit the facing of the roof below the light tower in the left field corner. Martinez to the rosin sack. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Dennis looks in and gets the sign. The stretch. And the 3-2 pitch. Thornton hits it down the third baseline, glove behind the bag, throw to second base, and out back to first. No, and the run scores. Game tied at 1. There'll be an argument. Weaver going to second base to talk to Nestor Shylock.
Earl Weaver is going to say that his second baseman was interfered with by Buddy Bell, but no way. There was a good legal slide by Buddy.
Put out on Bell is 5-4. Manning scores, and Thornton gets his 43rd RBI.
Earl really going at Shylock, and he's going at the wrong fellow, I'll tell you that.
Nestor is backing away, but Earl's coming right with him. Nestor and Earl really going at it. Conversation ended. Shylock 1, Weaver nothing. And this is Gary Alexander. Alexander at 236, 16 homers, 42 RBIs, 2 for 4 with 2 runs batted in on a triple last night. Thornton at first. The game is tied at 1. The pitch. Alex takes outside, ball 1. Alexander hitting .306 as an Indian with 6 homers and 20 RBIs. Last week, named the American League Player of the Week. Bernie Carbo is on deck. 1-0 pitch. Alexander takes a fastball strike on the inside corner. The count is 1-1. Now the stretch by Martinez. 1-1 pitch. Check swing, throw to first, and Thornton steps back ahead of the tag. And it is a strike as Alexander went too far on the check swing. Count is 1-2. First inning, the game is tied at the stadium at 1. Stretch, pitch, Alex swing and a miss. Struck him out. Oh, the inning for the Indians. 1 run, 2 hits, and a man left. And at the end of 1 inning of play, Baltimore 1, Cleveland 1. Nice note here from John J. Adams. Brought down a 1954 Indian scorecard for Herb Score to take a look at. Well, the right-hand batter is Lee May leading off for the second inning. Here's the pitch. Fastball outside, ball 1 to May. Hitting .260 with 15 homers and 46 RBIs. May in last night's ball game went 0 for 4. Pitch to May, curveball, swing, and a miss. 1-1. Jackson Knapziger, Al Kingsman, Wendell Knapziger, and Artie Short are all here tonight from Archbold, Ohio. And the 1-1 pitch. May taps the ball first base side. Thornton, the only man between first and second, gets it, flips to Clyde covering, and there's one out.
Lee May checking his swing and hit a nice soft ground ball.
One down. And this will bring to bat Doug DeCenza, the third baseman, a right-hand batter. DeCenza hitting .232 with 8 homers, 15 RBIs. He was 2 for 4 in last night's ball game. DeCenza made a very nice play in the first inning on that ball smoked down the line by Thornton. David Clyde looks him over. Winds up. Here's the pitch. Curveball outside, ball 1. We'll get a station break to you in a moment. From WLEC's listening area, Sandusky, 3 youths who have just returned from Europe. Dan Garman, Ron Borchard, and Ron Albert. They are members of the Heidelberg Concert Choir from Tiffin, Ohio, touring Switzerland, Austria, and Germany. There's a slap down the third base line, foul in front of the bag. And the count is even at a ball and a strike. DeCenza thought it was fair, but he was in a very poor position to judge it.
It was very close.
A ball and a strike. One out, nobody on here in the top half of the second inning. Orioles got a run on the top of the first. Belanger bounced a double down the left field line and came home on 2 ground balls. The Indians got hits from Manning and Bell, and a fielder's choice off the bat of Thornton plated Manning to tie the game. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. DeCenza at bat, top half of the second inning. David Clyde against Dennis Martinez in this one tonight. Wind up by Clyde, and the pitch. A high drive, center field. Manning digging back. He's going to get it, and he does. 2 outs. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Cleveland Indians Baseball Network.
This is 3WJ, Central Ohio's home, and the Cleveland Cavaliers, Browns, and Indians. WWJ, Johnstown.
Andres Mora, the left fielder, hitting .242, 4 homers for Mora, and 8 runs batted in. Pitch to Andres, the curveball outside, ball 1. Mora, 2 for 12 against the Indians with an RBI, did not play in last night's game. Clyde winds up. 1-0 pitch. Mora, swing and a miss of the curveball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, earlier the skies were clearing, and now the overcast has returned. Wind up in the 1-1 pitch. Bounce to third. Bell has it. Going to have a long throw. And has it in time to retire the side. 3 up, 3 down in the second inning. At the end of an inning and a half, the Orioles won, the Indians won.
Here's some great news for people who like to know they've made a smart buy. At Spitzer Dodge in Columbus, we've got the stylish 1978 Dodge Diplomat for just $47.95. That's right, a luxurious Diplomat, not $6,000 or $7,000, just $47.95. And diplomatically speaking, that's a smart buy. This time, instead of Chevy or Ford, pick out a mind changer, the new favorite Diplomat, for just $47.95. See you soon at Spitzer Dodge, a Columbus tradition at 5100 East Main Street.
It's definitely different. It's differently exciting. It's the kind of club you wish you'd known about sooner. Marco Polo, super disco for people over 21, with a fine selection of current music and a sound system unconditionally guaranteed to shake your senses and your soul. Every Wednesday night is ladies' night, and happy hour lasts all day. Marco Polo, 1605 West 5th Avenue in Columbus, across from North Star.
Half of the second inning, Carbo, Grubb, and Blanks against Dennis Martinez. The game is tied at 1. Pirates took 2 from Montreal, 3-1 and 4-3. Winners were Blyleven and Robinson. Cubs took the Cardinals 7-5. The Padres knocked off the Giants again today, 7-5. The Giants now have dropped 3 in a row. Philadelphia lost to the Mets in the first of a twilighter 4-0 on a Mazzilli grand slam and a 2-hitter by Zachary. Houston at Cincinnati. That's Richard against Hume. And later tonight, Atlanta will go at L.A. The Yankees and the Red Sox were rained out in Boston. Chicago edged Texas 2-1 on a 4-hitter by Schuler and Crowley and Soderholm's home run. Tonight, Toronto at Detroit, Milwaukee at Minnesota, California at Kansas City, and Oakland at Seattle. Here it's a 1-1 tie in the home half of the second inning, and Carbo steps in. Bernie hitting .283, 1 over 8 RBIs. His first at bat against Baltimore in an Indians uniform. As a tribesman, he's 5 for 14, 2 RBIs, a .357 average. Dennis Martinez gets the sign. Here's the windup and the pitch, and Bernie takes high, ball 1. Now Carbo wants the baseball examined, and it's flipped in by Martinez. Indians spend Wednesday night and Thursday night in Detroit against the Tigers. Tomorrow night, Sykes against Wise, and on Thursday, Billingham against Waits. And then the Red Sox come to Cleveland on Friday night, poster night. 1-0 pitch to Carbo. Bernie swing and a miss, so the count is even at 1-1.
Pretty good changeup by Dennis Martinez.
Carbo with that dark blue number 7 on the back of his home white uniform. Wind up by Martinez, 1-1 pitch. Carbo swing and a miss, and the count goes to 1-2. A 1-1 tie in the second at the stadium. Martinez all set. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Bernie takes a fastball low, and the count evens at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Martinez gets the sign from Dave Skaggs. Winds up, and here's the 2-2 pitch to Carbo. Bernie swings and misses, striking out. Third strikeout for Dennis Martinez.
Martinez showing a pretty good changeup and a good slider.
Johnny Grout, .227 batting average, 7 homers, 26 RBIs. Did not play last night. He's 7 for 22 against Baltimore this year with a homer and 4 runs batted in. And John trying to snap out of a hitless streak that has extended now to 4 games in a row. Wind up and the pitch. Grubb chops the ball foul on the first base side toward Rocky Calavito, who picks it up. Strike 1. Baylor Moore against Jack Morris. Toronto in Detroit tonight. Wind up of the pitch. John, it's a long drive to right field. Back goes Singleton. It is gone. Home run.
Johnny Grubb gets the fireworks going early.
That is his 8th home run of the year.
And that equals his major league high in home runs.
Indians lead 2-1. Larvell Blanks, the batter. Larvell Blanks hitting .241, 2 homers, 16 RBIs, 3 for 5 last night with a homer and 3 RBIs. Takes outside, ball 1. That is also Grubb's 2nd home run against the Birds this year. Wind up of the pitch. Larvell takes low. Ball 2. Well, the Indians with 2 runs on 3 base hits. Leading 2-1. Wind up by Martinez. The pitch. Larvell takes a fastball at the letters. His strike and the count 2-1. Martinez ready again. The 2-1 offering. Larvell takes strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dwayne Kuiper on deck.
Johnny Grubb's 8th home run ties his season high.
Here's the windup. 2-2 pitch. High pop fly ball to right field. Singleton under it. Comes in a few more steps and makes the catch. 2 outs. Blanks flies to right. That'll bring up Dwayne Kuiper, the second baseman. Dwayne, a lefty, hitting .258, 17 home runs, 17 RBIs, 0 for 2 last night. Dwayne was telling Herb and me before the ball game he was in the number 9 spot tonight. He says, I'm going for the long ball tonight.
He hit without batting practice today.
He hits one out. That scoreboard may fall over. He's had one in his big league career. Wind up with a pitch to Dwayne. He slaps it up the middle. The shortstop Belanger gets it on a tricky hop, throws to first to the side, is retired. So in the second inning of play, 1 run, 1 hit. John Grubb's blast. And at the end of 2 innings of play, the Indians 2 and the Orioles 1.
You know, listening to Major League Baseball on 3WJ is a great way to follow the match.
Top of the third, it will be Lopez, Skaggs, and Belanger against left-hander David Clyde. The Indians have taken a 2-1 lead in the third inning of play. Carlos Lopez, the center fielder, a right-hand batter, .218, 3 homers, 12 RBIs. Did not play last night. He's 3 for 18 against the Indians this year with 1 of those home runs and 3 RBIs.
We find out now he is starting tonight in Detroit. So, where the lights will go, but we have been called from Detroit saying that Lawrence...
Here's the windup and the pitch. Slapped in the air out over second base. Kuiper going back, put the glove up, couldn't get it. Drops beyond him for a hit into center field. Kuiper gave it a heck of a shot, racing into center field, leaping at the ball, but it was just too far for him to grab. And so Lopez is on with a single. That is the second Oriole hit. And it brings up the catcher, Dave Skaggs. Skaggs has seen limited duty this year. He is 6 for 48 on the year. That's a 125 batting average with 2 RBIs. He is 1 for 10 against the Cleveland Indians. Stretch by Clyde. And the pitch. Skaggs checks his swing, takes outside. Ball 1. Lopez at first, nobody out. 2-1 Cleveland. Stretch by David Clyde. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Alexander up and ready to throw. Lopez started back to the bag, now continues to trip slowly as Alexander did not let the ball go. 1 ball, 1 strike. Stretch. Look to first. 1-1 pitch. Curveball low. 2-1. Orioles picked up a run in the first on a Belanger double and ground balls by Dower and Singleton. Singleton getting the run batted in. Indians tied it in the first, took the lead in the second on Grubb's home run. Stretch. 2-1 pitch. Bouncing ball foul comes back up on the screen, and the count is 2-2.
That is Alexander on the mask and came all the way back up on the screen.
David Skaggs. There's an orange number 8 on the back of his gray Baltimore uniform. Stretch of the 2-2 pitch. Skaggs hits the curveball in the air to center field. Manning to his left under the ball makes the catch, and Lopez retreats. 1 out. Here's Belanger. Belanger hammered one off the ground and over the third baseman's head down the left field line for a double in the first inning and came around to score on 2 ground balls to the shortstop in the first inning. The Indians then tied it on hits by Manning and Bell and a fielder's choice off the bat of Thornton. Grubb untied it with a home run to right in the second inning. Belanger's batting average, .208. A stretch. Look to first, pitch to Belanger. Fastball, strike 1. It'll be Lonborg against Swan in that second game in New York. Mets won the opener 4-0. Stretch and pitch. Curveball rammed into the hole in left field. Base hit. Skaggs goes to second and hangs on, and Belanger is 2 for 2.
Well, they gave Belanger the night off last night, and he has come back strong.
Hits are now even at 3. Rich Dower scheduled to bat, and here he comes. Bounced to the shortstop of the first inning. Stretch by Clive. There's one out and 2 men on. Dave's first pitch hit hard to the shortstop. Should be 2. Kuiper 1. First base double play. 6-4-3 on the Twin killing. No runs, 2 hits, 1 left. And at the end of 2 1/2 innings of play, the Indians 2 and the Orioles 1.
They're everywhere. I've got one in my office. I've got 2 in the garage at home. And yesterday, I even found one in the men's restroom. This is Dave Smith, and I'm talking about the selection of new Fords at Dave Smith Ford, 10 minutes east of Columbus on Broad Street. We have a fine selection, and I'll save you money on a new Ford or buy you 2 steak dinners for your trouble. Come out where we offer on-the-spot financing, and it's fun to buy a car. That's Dave Smith Ford on Broad Street, halfway between Columbus and Newark.
National Lampoon presents True Facts. Authentic, documented, we kid you not, strictly on the up and up, verified, absolutely the real thing, honest to goodness, unadulterated.
And now the True Facts are yours. Monday through Friday nights at 11:55, right here on 3WJ Mellow Rock 103.
It's going to be the top of the order, Paul Dade, in the third inning. Dade was called out on strikes to start the game for the Indians. Houston picks up a run in the first at Cincinnati. And Toronto in the first inning at Detroit fails to score. That's Moore against Morris. Paul Dade hitting at 280. They posted the pitchers at Kansas City tonight. Frost going for the Angels and Gale for the Royals. Dennis Martinez winds up. First pitch to Dade, a brass ball low and outside. Ball 1. Wind up by Dennis Martinez, and the 1-0 pitch. Slopped up the middle and into center field, a base hit. Well, Paul Dade has his first hit of the night of the Indians' 4th. That'll bring on Manning. Manning drilled a hit into left field of the first inning and scored the first Indian run. Manning back over the 260 mark to 261. Buddy Bell on deck. Martinez, the stretch, and the pitch. Manning to bunt, drops at first base line. It rolls foul, grabbed by Skaggs. Strike 1. Manning bunted an inside pitch and almost had the ball come up and hit him, but he scampered out of the wind, and the ball twisted foul about 10 feet up the first base foul line.
Paul Dade and Manning both looking to Joe Nozick as Dade goes back to first, Manning back to the batter's box. See whether or not they're going to keep the bunt on.
DeCenza on the cut of the grass at third. Murray at first holding with a runner. The stretch by Martinez. There goes Dade. Pitch out. Skaggs throw, and Dade is a dead duck.
Oh, they guessed right.
2-6 as Belanger put the tag on. Well, that leaves Manning alone with 1 out. Martinez, the windup, the 1-1 pitch. Rick slaps the ball into the hole at short. Grabbed by Belanger, fires it, got him. 2 outs. Buddy Bell slapped a hit into right field in the first inning of play. Buddy's batting average back up to .307. Dennis Martinez trying to improve a record that currently is at 6-6. Wind up and a pitch to Buddy. Bell wraps the ball back to the second baseman, Dower. Throws to first, and the side is retired. It is no runs and a hit with nobody left. And to the end of 3 innings of play, the Indians 2 and the Orioles 1.
3WJ presents the Columbus Jackpot Program. Over $500 in gift certificates for you. A number of people are being called by telephone to receive this fantastic offer. You may be called today. $500 in gift certificates for only $24.95. If you can't wait for that call, phone 868-8595. That's 868-8595. The Columbus Jackpot.
Here's some great news for people who like to know they've made a smart buy. At Spitzer Dodge in Columbus, we've got the stylish 1978 Dodge Diplomat for just $47.95. That's right, the luxurious Diplomat, not $6,000 or $7,000, just $47.95. And diplomatically speaking, that's a smart buy. This time, instead of Chevy or Ford, pick out a mind changer, the new favorite Diplomat, for just $47.95. See you soon at Spitzer Dodge, a Columbus tradition at 5100 East Main Street.
Inning number 4, and here's Herb's score.
Thank you, Joe, and hi again, everybody. The Indians on top 2-1 in this ball game. Johnny Grubb's home run into the right field seat has made the difference thus far. And as we mentioned earlier, Johnny's 8th home run of the year, and it's career high for him, equals a career high. Ken Singleton to lead things off. He has bounced to the shortstop his only time up. His ground ball drove in the Oriole run. He has 32 RBIs on the year. Singleton, switch batter, batting right-handed. Deep in the batter's box, square stance. Wind up by the left-hander. Slides fastball is a strike at the knees over the outside corner. Good fastball. David Clyde on the mound for the Tribe. 6'1", about 185 pounds, 23 years old. Fastball missed outside. 1 ball and a strike. Umpire back at the plate is Rich Garcia. Vic Voltaggio at first. Nestor Shylock at second. Ron Luciano at third base. 1 ball and a strike. Fastball is low. 2 balls and a strike. Singleton from the left side. Check swing. Did he go around? Yes, he did, says umpire Voltaggio. 2-2. Singleton from the left side batting .295. From the right side, .255. But he's only been to bat 52 times right-handed. And he's been to bat 166 from the left side. 2 balls, 2 strikes. David Clyde is ready. 2-2 pitch is a swing and a miss, strike 3. He popped the fastball by him waist high. That is Clyde's first strikeout. 1 man gone in the 4th inning. Indians on top 2-1. Good crowd on hand here for the 4th of July night game, and there'll be a big fireworks show after tonight's action. And they say the biggest ever here at the stadium. If that's the case, look out. Our post-game show is going to sound like we're in a battle zone. Eddie Murray, batting right-handed, swings and misses on the curve, strike 1. David Clyde with that good overhand curveball. Murray right-handed, batting .265, left-handed .273, so he has been very consistent. Eddie Murray, his first time up, sent a ground ball to LaBelle Blanc. Fastball, strike 2 over the outside corner at the knees. A good fastball. David Clyde with a fastball down around the knees to right-hand batters. Really has some good zip on it. Also moves away from the... David Clyde with a fastball down around the knees to right-hand batters. Really has some good zip on it. Also moves away from the right-hander. 2-strike pitch. Fastball, strike 3 call. That's an ease. David Clyde has struck out the first 2 here in the 4th inning. 2 men again. And we'll see the designated hitter, Lee May. Lee May, powerful batter from the right side with a slightly closed stance, feet fairly close together. Indians play him well around and left. Kuiper almost behind second base. He looks at a curve, breaking down and in. Ball 1. Ball 1 pitch. Fastball is outside, 2-0. The on-deck batter is Doug DeCenze. 2 balls, no strikes. Change-up, he drops it too low, 3-0. Indians with 2 runs on 4 hits. The Orioles have a run on 3. It's been an errorless ball game. David Clyde with a 3-0 count to Lee May. Curveball wrapped foul past the coach Cal Ripken at third. Bounces to the ball boy, plays it off the wall. Ball 3 and a strike. Lee May with the Cincinnati Reds, Montreal, and now the Baltimore Orioles. Check swing, it's low, ball 4. He changed up on him and got it down too low. That is the first walk allowed by David Clyde. It's the first walk in the ball game. With 2 men out in the 4th inning, Doug DeCenze, who drove one to center field that Rick Manning caught up with. DeCenze, a right-hand hitter. Batting average of .231. David Clyde gives a look to the runner at first. He delivers. High pop, first base side of the infield. Kuiper coming down. He's calling for it midway between first and second. Makes the grab. The side retires. 4th inning. Birds, no runs. No hits, no errors. A walk and a man left. Middle of 4. Score here in the stadium. The Indians 2, the Orioles 1.
There's only one place where you can get professional, high-quality printing at reasonable prices, and that's Shin Graphics at Graphic Way in Westerville. Shin will be pleased to take care of any wedding invitations and accessories, and for all orders over $75, you get a 15% discount. For instant printing at Shin, it normally will take less than 2 hours. Shin Graphics at Graphic Way in Westerville can take care of any of your printing needs, from calendars to calling cards, or even a doctoral thesis. See Jim Shin today at Shin Graphics.
Get into the swing of things at Broadview Golf Course at rounds 310 and 16 in Pataskala, 10 minutes east of I-270 on Broad Street. Broadview is a beautiful 9-hole, 35-par course that's open to the public. You'll be pleased when you see the watered fairways and pleasant surroundings. No tee times are required, and club and electric cart rental is available. You'll find fine food and beverages in the clubhouse, and the Pro Shop carries anything the golfer wants or needs at special discount prices. Broadview Golf Course at rounds 310 and 16 in Pataskala, a challenging 9-hole golf course.
We'll be looking at Andre Thornton, Gary Alexander, and Bernie Carbo against the right-hander Dennis Martinez. Wahoo Club will be meeting this week on Friday at the Bond Court Hotel. And a good group on hand. Gary Alexander will be there along with Jeff Torborg, Red Sox broadcaster Dick Stockton, and the Boston Red Sox manager Don Zimmer. A couple of other Indians there. The MC will be Gib Shanley. And it's noon at the Bond Court Hotel Wahoo Club, Friday. First pitch to Andy Thornton, takes inside. Ball 1 is slided. It didn't slide very much. Thornton with 3 hits last night. His batting average of .265. Fastball knee high over the outside part of the plate, a strike. 1 ball and a strike. Andre holds that bat well back. Long drive, left field, pretty well hit. Back goes Lopez. He's at the fence. It's gone. Home run. Andre Thornton hits number 14. The Indians lead 3-1. Well, we promised you fireworks here on the 4th of July after the ball game. The Indians are starting the festivities early. 2 home runs for them. Johnny Grubb in the second inning. Andre Thornton here in the fourth. 3-1 Tribe leads. Here's Gary Alexander. Struck out swinging his first time up. Scoreboard has added a new dimension. They've placed the picture of the player on the panogram, and really good job. Here's Gary Alexander. Ground ball, past the mound. Near second base is Dower. Second baseman has it, throws him out. Gary Alexander hit that slider out near the end of the bat and shattered the bat. 1 gone in the 4th inning. Bernie Carbo will be the batter. Bernie struck out swinging. Bernie, left-hand batter against this right-handed Dennis Martinez. Martinez has surrendered 2 home runs in this game. Indians as a team now with 50 on the year. Swing and a miss, strike 1. And for Dennis Martinez, he has served up 13 of them. One strike. Bernie Carbo right down near the end of the bat. Here's the pitch. Foul back, hits the facing the box seats and rolls into fair territory. Now the umpire going to examine that ball. It hit the facing of the cement near the box seats, and he said it is not fit for use, throws it away. Carbo hitting at .279. He's hit 1 home run. That came as a member of the Boston Red Sox. They're not playing him to pull in left field. They have the center fielder, Carlos Lopez, about 5 or 6 steps into left center, but very deep. Fastball outside. Ball 1, strike 2. As the Indians can testify, he has good power to left center field. He put a few of them up in the net when he was at the Red Sox playing against the Indians. 1-2 pitch. Long drive, left field. Chasing back is Moore. He's on the warning path. He reaches up and grabs it in front of the wall. Pretty well hit by Carbo, and he proves that he does have good power to left. 2 men down, 4th inning. And Johnny Grubb, who powered a home run into the right field seats his first time up. Johnny Grubb hit his 8th home run in the second inning to put the Indians on top 2-1. John now with 27 runs batted in. Wind up. Right-hander Martinez throws a fastball high, ball 1. Dennis Martinez, 23 years old. He's 6'1", about 170 pounds. Swing and a miss on the slider and on his hand. The on-deck batter, Lavelle Blanks. Outfield straight away. And they respect Grubb's power. They're deep. Fastball a bit low. 2 balls and a strike. Third base, DeCenze is well off the line, and he's behind the baseline. Two and 1. Martinez taking a long time getting the sign from Dave Skaggs. 2-1 pitch. Down to low, bounces away, and the young man in the first row to the right of the screen leans down and gets it. 3-1. Indians will be in Detroit tomorrow night and Thursday night, back here at the stadium Friday night against the Boston Red Sox. Red Sox coming in town, 4-game series. Friday night is poster night. Youngsters 14 and under coming into the ballpark. We'll get some posters. So everybody coming to the ballpark, I guess, Friday night, with the exception of those in the bleachers. And then Then Saturday, big twilight doubleheader. Sunday is bat day. Fastball is up too high. Ball 4. Johnny Grubb takes the walk. That is the first allowed by the right-handed Dennis Martinez, and brings to the plate Roybal Blanks. On post tonight, all the folks coming in the park, with the exception of those in the bleachers, will get posters. Then on bat day, youngsters 14 and under, with the exception of those coming in from the bleachers, will get those fine Little League bats made by the Adirondack Company. Two-man out. Roybal Blanks with Grubb at first. The pitch. Roybal hits it towards short. Over goes Belanger. Knocks the ball down. Can't make a play. A base hit. Mark Belanger, with his great range, went to his right and backhanded the ball, knocked it down, but couldn't make a play. And so the Indians have runners at first and at second with 2 men down, and the Indians pick up base hit number 6. The batter will be Dwayne Kuiper. Kuiper has chopped the ground ball ashort. His only time up.
John Flynn, a right-hander, and Tippy Martinez, a lefty, go to work on the bullpen.
And the pitching coach, Miller, going to the mound to have a talk. Now also Rich Garcia, the home plate umpire, is going to go out, and he's going to have a little chat and find out what's going on. Indian runners at first and at second. Ray Miller, the pitching coach, this is his first year with the Orioles. Even in their minor league system for a couple of years. Their minor league pitching instructor. And of course, George Bamberger, who did such a great job with the Baltimore pitchers, now the manager of the Milwaukee Brewers. Dwayne Kuiper. Runners at first and at second. 2 men out. Indians lead 3-1, 4th inning. On deck, Paul Dade. Fastball drives it over the outside part of the plate, a strike. Playing Kuiper way around and left. Big gap on the right field line. Grubb at second. Blanks at first. 2 men are out. Foul back to the screen. Strike 2. Dwayne Kuiper. Now Dennis Martinez back on the grass, rubs up that baseball. And in the bullpen, Tippy Martinez and John Flynn warming, but Tippy Martinez, the left-hander. 2 strikes on Kuiper. Martinez ready and delivers. High and outside, a ball, 2 strikes. We're in the 4th inning. The Indians have taken a 3-1 lead. Picked up a run in the first inning on a ground ball. Home runs by Grubb and Thornton have provided the other 2. High, ball 2, 2-2. Martinez has only walked 1, but he's fallen behind quite a few hitters here tonight. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dwayne Kuiper down near the end of the bat, chokes it up maybe half an inch. Third ball, chopped foul over near the third base dugout, bounces off the railing of the box seats. Count remains ball 2 and strike 2. Crowd here at the stadium is really sizable. They have had a good turnout here tonight. The fans getting their money's worth. Ball 2, strike 2. The delivery. Bouncing ball, second base side, grabbed by Rich Dower. He'll go to first. He does. The inning is over. Kuiper grounds out to his opposing second baseman. For the Indians, 4th inning, they get a run. 2 hits, no errors. They leave a pair. And at the end of 4 innings here in the stadium, the score, Cleveland 3 and Baltimore 1.
Here's some great news for people who like to know they've made a smart buy. At Spitzer Dodge in Columbus, we've got the stylish 1978 Dodge Diplomat for just $47.95. That's right, a luxurious Diplomat, not $6,000 or $7,000, just $47.95. And diplomatically speaking, that's a smart buy. This time, instead of Chevy or Ford, pick out a mind changer, the new favorite Diplomat, for just $47.95. See you soon at Spitzer Dodge, a Columbus tradition at 5100 East Main Street.
The Technical Rubber Company in Johnstown is growing with its hometown. Tech Rubber is now known the world over for their superior tire and tube repair products and accessories. Tech is a home-owned and operated business that cares about its employees and its hometown. Tech Rubber's on the way up. Products now used and distributed in over 40 countries around the world. Tech Rubber, featuring a complete line of dependable tire and tube repair products and accessories. The Technical Rubber Company Incorporated in Johnstown, Ohio.
Well, we go now into the fifth inning. The Indians lead it 3-1. And it'll be Andres Moore, Carlos Lopez, and Dave Skaggs to face David Clyde. And a home run ball has been flying for the Tribe tonight. They've hit two of them by Grubb and Thornton, and they now have 50 on the year. Andres Moore, a right-hand batter, has hit a ground ball to third his only time up. His batting average at the start of the game, .242, so he dropped a few points. High pop foul, first base side of the screen, and it'll be out of play. Lands in the pathway and takes a big bounce into the seats.
That first game in New York tonight with the Phillies, Lee Mazzilli had a grand slam to win it. He just hit another one, not with the bases loaded, but his second home run of the double dip, 1-0 after one.
And he's a homegrown product. He's from Brooklyn. Strike one on Andres Mora. David Clyde going after victory number 5. Left-handed throws, foul ball down the right side, will be in the Indian bullpen. Strike two. Andres Moore wearing number 27 on the back of his gray uniform. David Clyde winds it up. He delivers. Fastball missed inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dave gave up a run in the first inning as Belanger hit a high bounce that went over Buddy Bell's head. Nothing Buddy could do about it. Rolled down the left field line for a double. Then a couple of ground balls scored him. 1-2 pitch. Curve is outside, 2-2. 3 runs, 6 hits for the Indians, a run on 3 hits for the Birds. It's been an errorless ball game. Clyde winds her up, and here it comes. Outside with a curve, 3-2. Carlos Lopez on deck. Lopez, one of those hitters that wears a shin guard on his left shin. Fouls a lot of balls down that way. High pop fly, shallow right center field. Out goes Kuiper. On comes Dade. Dade calling, and Dade has it. So Andres Moore pops to shallow right center field. 1 man gone. And we will see Carlos Lopez. Last year we saw Carlos Lopez with the Seattle Mariners. Lopez hitting at .225. He's had 3 home runs, 12 runs batted in.
Last year, Lopez in 99 games hit .283 at Seattle.
He was pretty impressive against the Indians. Ground ball, third base side. Buddy Bell to his right. Grabs, throws, low throw, and grabbed by the first baseman, Andre Thornton. Ball hit his glove, came up out of the glove, and he caught it before the runner got there. So good play by Andre. 2 men are gone in the 5th inning. And it's Dave Skaggs, the catcher. The Indians lead 3-1. Right-hand hitting catcher, Dave Skaggs. Curve breaks inside and low, ball 1. Skaggs with just about a square stance. fouls this one to the right, will sail into the upper deck, a souvenir. Whoops. Somebody made a dive for that ball. Went over about 3 rows and made the catch. I wouldn't want to have been the fellow sitting in front of him. 1 ball and a strike. Down too low. 2 balls and a strike. Tomorrow night, Indians will be at Tiger Stadium. Rick Wise will go for the Indians. Steve Baker going for Detroit. 2-1 pitch, a line foul outside the bag at third. 2-2. Apparently Baker was supposed to pitch tonight, but was feeling ill when he arrived at the ballpark, and they made a switch. They have Morris pitching, and Baker will go tomorrow night. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The windup. Clyde delivers. Fly ball right center field. Could drop. Over goes Dade. Can't get to it. A base hit. And Dave Skaggs slices a single into right for the Baltimore Orioles. Their 4th base hit brings up the top of the batting order Mark Belanger. He's had 2 of the 4 hits. A double in the first, a single in the third. Mark batting at .212, and you will not find a better fielding shortstop anywhere. He can do it all. Good range, fine throwing arm, and very, very steady. Pitch to him, inside corner above the knees, strike. Mark looks like he's changed his stance a bit. Used to be a little more spread out. One strike pitch. Down too low. 1 ball and a strike. This game being televised back to Baltimore tonight. One of the commentators on television, a fellow who played a little third base for Baltimore, a gent by the name of Brooks Robinson. 1 ball and a strike. Ground ball, third base side, foul. Just outside the bag. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And there's no question in my mind that Brooks Robinson is the best third baseman I have ever seen play. And I don't expect to ever see anybody any better than he was. He might be as good sometime defensively, but I don't see how anybody could be any better. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fastball just missed a little above the letters.
I remember the last home run that Brooks Robinson hit in the big leagues.
Oh, boy. How low. We remember that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Extra innings in Baltimore. Indians had scored, I think, 2 in the 10th or 3 in the 10th, or 2 in the 10th to go up by 2.
Right.
Robinson hit a 3-run homer to win it. 2-2 pitch. Fastball is up too high. 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 2 men out in the 5th inning. Indians lead 3-1. Runner at first for Baltimore. He'll be going with the pitch. There he goes. Pitch is bounced toward third. 1 hop to Buddy. Throws across. Side retired. 5th inning. The Birds, no run. They had a base hit. There were no errors, and they leave a man. We have played 4.5 here in the stadium. The score, Cleveland 3 and Baltimore 1.
Whenever it's time for the great game of baseball, and do you say, whenever the ump tells the players to play ball, after a double play, a pitch hit that saves the day, anytime's the right time to say it. When do you say, Budweiser, that's the bit for any time at all. After a long home run, after the game is won, King of Beers is waiting for your call. When you say Budweiser, when you say yay baseball, when you say Budweiser, you said it all. You said it all.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
For the Indians, the fifth inning rolls around with the top of the batting order. Dade, Manning, and Bell. The Indians lead in this game 3-1. Don't forget now, Indians will be gone for a couple of nights, but back here on Friday night, Saturday a twilight doubleheader, and Sunday bat day, all with the Boston Red Sox. Well, that's the team you want to look at, the Boston Red Sox. They have some fearsome fellas in that lineup. They put 7 guys out there who can bang the ball out of the ballpark any time. Indians have played them well this year. They've won 3 and lost 3 against Boston. Friday night poster night, fans coming in will all receive very colorful posters, pictures of many of the Indians. Everybody except those coming in through the bleachers. And then on Saturday, a twilight doubleheader starting at 5:35. Sunday is bat day. Little League bats will be given out to youngsters 14 and under. Paul Dade is 1 for 2 in this game. Got a bunt first base side. Does take the short hop grab by the first baseman, runs and gets him at first. Eddie Murray couldn't do much about it. He had to wait for that ball to come down. He grabbed it on the hop and made a dash for first base and just got there ahead of Dade. Well, Dade is out on a bunt try. 1 man gone in the 5th inning, and Rick Manning the batter. And make sure you know on bat day that youngsters 14 and under, with the exception of those coming in through the bleachers, receive the bat. And every once in a while somebody writes the notice, and how come you don't give the giveaways to folks in the bleachers? Well, bleacher seats are $1, the best bargain in sports, and all the giveaway items actually cost you more than $1, so it's pretty tough on the Tribe to do that. Line drive off the batter, Manning right through the middle into center field. Martinez made a stab on it, and I think it hit his glove, but he couldn't contain it, and Rick Manning gets to hit his second of the game, and the Indians have 7. Indians lead 3-1, and here's Buddy Bell. His first time up tonight with Manning at first and a man out, they had to hit and run on, and Buddy drilled a single to right field. Buddy's batting average at .306. Time call, the ground crew running out on the field. Apparently, the gate on the left field fence has become unlatched, and ground crew right on the job going out to tie it up. Buddy Bell stands in. Dennis Martinez with Manning at first and a good lead. There he goes. Pitch is swung on, chopped toward third, grabbed by DeCenzi, has to go to first with high throw. Manning goes to third, the throw is side, safe. Good heads-up base running by Rick Manning. DeCenzi going to his left, grabbed the ball, looked to second, had no play. His throw to first base was high. Murray grabbed it and kept his foot on the bag. Rick Manning, seeing nobody covering third, raced for third. The catcher skagged, and the pitcher Martinez also broke for third. The throw went to third. Martinez grabbed it, put the tag on Manning, but not in time. Rick in there with a hit-first slide. Exciting base running by the Indian center fielder. 5-3 on that at first, and Manning gets all the way to third. 2 men down, and here's Andre. Andre has hit a ground ball to the third baseman that forced the runner, and then he lofted a home run over the left center field fence, his 14th home run of the year. Martinez taking a break behind the mound. He might be a little winded. He made a dive at third base for that ball and for Manning. DeCenzi over to see if he's okay. Manning at third. Andre Thornton stands in. Average for Andre is moving up again. Started the night at 266. He's picked up a couple of points. Wind up and the pitch inside and high, ball 1. Andre Thornton has batted in 2 runs in this game. His ground ball in the first inning drove in a run. He's home run another, so he has 44 on the year. Ball 1 pitch to him. Swing and a miss on the slider, breaking down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Indians lead 3-1. We're in the 5th inning. Tribe runner at third, 2 men down. Outfield giving him plenty of the right field line, and they're deep and around the left. One delivery. Foul back. Ball 1, strike 2. In the bullpen, Jim Kern has started to throw for the Tribe. And if you did not hear, Jim Curran has been selected to the All-Star team for the American League. Second straight year.
Tippy Martinez starting to warm up again for the Orioles.
Andre kicks some dirt around in the batter's box, now stands in. Gary Alexander, the on-deck batter. 1-2 delivery. Swing and a miss, strike three, gone over the slider. Martinez picks up his fourth strikeout, and the Indians in the fifth go down, no runs. They had a base hit. There were no errors and one Indian left. End of 5 innings in the stadium. The score on the 4th of July, the Indians 3, the Baltimore Orioles 1.
You know, listening to Major League Baseball on 3WJ is a great way to follow the national pastime. But to really appreciate the game and the players' talents, at least once in a while, you should see a game in person. And those of us at 3WJ would like you to see the exciting Cleveland Indians on us during our Tribe Ticket Giveaway. All you have to do is send us your name, address, and phone number. Then every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday during the noon news, we'll draw a name to win 2 tickets to an Indians home game of your choice. If your name is drawn, your tickets will to the mail that same day. And we won't stick you out in the left field bleachers, but in box seats, so you'll be right next to the action. To enter, send your name, address, and phone number on a postcard or letter to Tribe Tickets, 3WJ, P.O. Box 373, Johnstown, Ohio, 43031. Again, that's Tribe Tickets, P.O. Box 373, Johnstown, Ohio, 43031. To win 2 box seat tickets to a Cleveland Indians baseball game of your choice. Entries are limited to 1 per week, so enter today and let 3WJ take you out to the ball game.
For the Indians, they lead 3-1 here in inning number 6. And for Baltimore, Dower, Singleton, and Murray coming along against David Clyde. Dave gave up a run in the first inning, and that's been it so far. Left-hander facing the right-hand hitting Rich Dower. Dower has grounded the short twice, once into a double play. Clyde winds it up, he delivers. Fly ball, left field, coming on is Johnny Grubb. He's there, and he has it. 1 pitch, 1 gone in the 6th. David Clyde has walked 1, he has struck out 2. Ken Singleton has grounded the short, and he has struck out. Singleton, a switch hitter batting right-handed. Kenny doing some housekeeping around the batter's box, gets it just the way he wants it, stands in. Curve, sweep slow, ball 1. And a fastball over the outside corner, strike. Young Mike Ledicker celebrating birthday number 12 today. Happy birthday, Mike Ledicker. Hope you have many more. Fastball, strike 2 at the knees. Oh, David Clyde with a good fastball, popping it over the outside corner knee high. Ball 1, strike 2. Left-handed throws, the curve is outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 gone, 6th inning. Indians lead it 3-1. Fastball line to center field, a base hit. Ken Singleton gets a hit, and as we wait for Eddie Murray to get the home plate, we will pause for station identification. This is the Cleveland Indians Baseball Network.
This is 3WJ, Central Ohio's home of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Browns, and Indians. WWJ, Johnstown.
Eddie Murray's a switch hitter. He'll come up batting right-handed. Murray in the game, grounded to short, called on at strikes. 5 hits now for Baltimore. Indians have 7 hits, and they have the lead 3-1. Clyde gives a look to the runner at first. Thornton playing behind him. Curveball drops it over the inside corner above the knees. Strike 1. David Clyde all set to go. The ball, strike one pitch is lined, foul, hits the facing of the box seats and rolls down the right field line. Strike two. Ken Singleton, the runner at first. Let's see, in the stolen base department this year, he has not tried. Birds have stolen 44. They've been caught 25 times. Strike two. Pitch to Murray. Fastball just missed the inside part of the plate. Oh, that was close. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So close that David Clyde thought he had a strike. Ball 1, strike 2. Jim Kern down in the Indian bullpen. Curveball, chopped foul over near the third base dugout, just past the dugout, rolling along the canvas, picked up by the third base umpire, Ron Luciano. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Eddie Murray, his batting average, .268. He has hit 17 home runs, has 50 runs batted across. Foul ball, this one off to the right, goes upstairs for a souvenir. New supply of baseballs trotted up the home plate by Sam Beach, the ball man. Indians do not play Murray to really pull the ball. They have Dade off the right field line a bit, but center field and in left field, they're playing just about straight away. 1-2 pitch. Bouncy ball right side. It goes through a base hit. At second base, Singleton. He'll go to third. Up with the ball, Dade. They hold Murray at first. Now just a high chop. Took a big bounce. Andre Thornton racing to his right. Couldn't get it. It was beyond his reach and over his head as well. So Murray chops one to the opposite side of the infield. It goes through for base hit. And the Baltimore Orioles are doing some business with runners at first and at third and 1 man out. And Jeff Torboy getting to the mound. Game of the doubleheader. Mets lead the Phillies 1-0. They have played 2. In Detroit, it's the Tigers 1, Toronto nothing at the end of 2. Milwaukee, Minnesota, no score after 1. California, Kansas City, same story, scoreless after 1. And Oakland and Seattle not yet started. This afternoon, 1 game completed in the American League. The White Sox beat Texas 2-1 before 18,000 in Chicago. Eric Soderholm had a home run in that ball game in the 7th inning, and that was the margin of difference. National League today, the Pirates took a doubleheader from Montreal, 3-1 and 4-3. Conference time is over. Runners at first and at third, 1 man down, and the batter standing in is Lee May. Indians lead 3-1. We are in the 6th. In the dirt, great stop by the catcher, Gary Alexander. That ball was at the feet of Lee May. Alexander darting to his left, and he held on. Ball 1. Check to the runners, the pitch. Fastball at the knee, strike over the outside part of the plate. Kevin Rosen and David Minot from Sandusky, Ohio, here tonight. Sent us up a note. Oh, good crowd on hand. 1 ball and a strike, and they've had plenty to cheer about. Swing and a foul back. Third base, the runner, Singleton, started for home plate, but the home plate umpire, Garcia, signaling the ball was tipped, came back to the screen. Ball 1, 2 strikes. David Clyde working on Lee May. At first base, Eddie Murray. Third base, Ken Singleton. Ball 1, strike 2 pitch. Curveball, foul back again. There's no doubt that when Lee May takes a swing, he has one thing in mind. That is crushing the baseball. He really goes after it. He is a very aggressive hitter. Gary Alexander running out to the mound to have a quick talk with David Clyde.
That trip is made more to give Alexander a chance to shake off that foul tip that nailed him going by.
I think he was hit with a bat as well, maybe, Joe, because Lee May takes such a vicious cut. He goes all the way around. Ball hit him, and I think the bat also caught him on the left shoulder. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Curveball wraps toward third. Buddy dives, can't get it. Larvell does. Throws to second. Safe at second base. A run scores. A slow hit ball to the left side. Buddy dove at it. Couldn't reach it. Larvell got it on the edge of the outfield grass. Flipped to second base, but Murray beat it in. It'll go as an infield hit, and it narrows the Indian lead to 3-2 as Singleton scores, and Lee May gets his 47th RBI. Runners at first and at second with a man out. The batter, Doug DeCenze. DeCenze, in this ball game, has flied to center, popped to second. The hits are now evened at 7 apiece. Indians lead 3-2. David Clyde checks on the runner at second base. Pitch to DeCenze. Fastball over but low, ball one. Ball one. Looks back to second by Clyde. He comes to the plate. Curveball, he drops it over the outside part of the plate. 1 ball and a strike. David Clyde. Now just to the sign. There goes the runner from second. Inside ball and no throw to third base. They had no chance. David Clyde didn't look back at Eddie Murray. He took off and he literally stole second, third base. 45th stolen base of the year. And the third for Eddie Murray. 45th for the team. Runners at first and at third. The count on DeCenze. 2 balls and a strike. Fastball is low, 3-1. All 3, strike 1. On the right hand hitting Doug DeCenze. Indians lead 3-2 in the 6th. Birds with runners at first and at third. Ground ball, third base, bounces over Buddy Bell's head in the left field. Run scores, racing for third is May, and he'll make it. Big turn at first and holding is DeCenze. Boy, that looked like a double play when the ball was hit. Buddy Bell going down to get it. It took a wicked hop and went right up over his head. Absolutely nothing he could do on that one. A base hit for DeCenze. The game is tied. Jeff Torborg is going to the mound, and Jim Kern will enter the ball game. For David Clyde, he has worked 5 1/3 innings. He has allowed 3 runs, leads with 2 men on as his responsibility. Gave up 8 hits. Put an asterisk next to that last one. Walked 1. He recorded 2 strikeouts. Jim Kern will be on the scene. We'll be back to tell you about Jim after we hear this message.
This is Dave Smith, National Ford. On Broad Street, we're halfway between Columbus and Newark. We sell new Fords. We will save you money. In fact, we have a little statement we make. If we can't save you money on a new Ford, I'll buy you 2 steak dinners. And we don't buy very many steak dinners. So come on over and see us. We've got a fine selection right now, new and used cars, over 200 new cars.
Jim Kern comes in the 6th inning to replace David Clyde, and for Kern, this is his 28th appearance. 42 innings, 39 hits, 17 runs all earned, struck out 42, walked 22. He's given up 3 home runs, a 6-3 record with 7 saves, and a 3.64 ERA. Against Baltimore, his 3rd appearance, covering 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run. He has struck out 7 and walked 1. He has a win against the Birds and a 1.80 ERA.
And Jim Kern will be facing Pat Kelly. He's going to pinch hit for Andres Mora. Kelly, left-hand hitter. And Pat batting at .270 with no home runs, 13 RBIs. Indians went into this inning leading by a score of 3-1. It's now tied at 3. And in fairness to David Clyde, not all this is really his trouble, because a couple of the base hits have been those kind of such funny hops, but they all count. And the game is now tied at 3. The Birds have 8 hits. The Indians have 7. And Jim Kern's job, stop him right here. Runners at first and at third. 1 man down. David Clyde cannot win this game, and he can possibly be the loser. Jim Kern will try and prevent that. Kern walks up on top, pulls on the bill of his cap. Outfield not playing Kelly to pull. Manning about 3 steps to the left of center. They're not overly deep. About normal depth. Kern checks the runners and throws. Fastball blazes it over the inside part of the plate, a strike. Jim Kern. 1 week from tonight, he will be in San Diego representing the American League in the All-Star game. Throws the slider inside, 1 ball and a strike. All-Star game this year played at San Diego next Tuesday night. Ball 1, strike 1. Check on the runners. There he goes from first. Ground ball right side, and Kuiper goes over, dives, knocks the ball down, picks it up, can't make a play. A run in, and all the way to third base goes to Sensei. Kuiper went racing over to his left, dove at the ball on the outfield grass. He knocked it down, scrambled after it to pick it up, but no chance for a play anywhere. And the Baltimore Orioles have gone on top 1-0 by 1 run, 4-3. They led 1-0 after the first half of the first inning. The Indians tied it. Then the Indians went ahead in the second. They have not been behind since. We're in the 6th. Birds have scored 3 times, and they lead it 4-3. Pat Kelly gets a pinch single and a run batted in, his 14th of the year. Sensei running with the pitch, legs it all the way around the third. Still only 1 man out. Carlos Lopez about it. There goes Kelly. Swing and a miss. Throw to second base. And bounces away. On the score comes the Sensei. Race for third. Kelly, he makes it. Nobody covering at second. Kuiper and Blanks were both breaking, but they were late getting there, and I don't know who was supposed to cover. The ball went right over the bag, took a bounce right at the bag, and it hit Kuiper on the leg and rolled away. It's a stolen base for Kelly, and an error charged on the catcher. And that is one of those errors, Joe, that does not necessarily have to be charged to the catcher. If an infielder fails to cover, you can charge it to them because the throw is right over the bag. But they have charged the error to the catcher, and the Birds lead 5-3. Now the Indians bring the infield in. Pitch with the strike to Lopez. Check swing in the dirt. Nice stop by Alexander. That run was charged to David Clyde. His statistics now complete. He allowed 5 runs in 5 1/3 innings. 1 ball and a strike. Kelly at third, still 1 man out. Bouncing foul at home plate. Pat Kelly's at third. And a new ball tossed out to Kern. He didn't like it. He gets another. Carlos Lopez, ball 1, strike 2. Kern in the set. He throws. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Kern gets his first strikeout. 2 men are out. Inning number 6. And here's Dave Skaggs, the catcher. He is flied to center. He singled to right. Dave Skaggs stands in. The 5 runs charged David Clyde. Depending on what happens with Skaggs, 4 earned or 5. We'll have to wait and see. If Skaggs makes out, it'll be 4 earned runs. Up too high, ball 1. Mark Belanger's on deck. Baltimore has exploded for 6 runs here in the 4th inning. They lead 5-3. Swing and a foul back on the screen. 1 ball and a strike. It's 4 runs they've scored here in the 6th, not 6 in the 4th. Oh, well. Baltimore with 5 runs on 9 hits. The Indians 3 runs on 7 hits. Down too low. Good stop again by Alexander. 2 balls and a strike. Kern sets, he throws. High pop foul, first base side. Racing down is Andy Thornton, can't get there. Ball lands just alongside the railing of the box seats. Andy gave it a good chase. The ball was just not high enough for him to get there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kern on the grass, back of the mound, blows on his hand, now pulls on the bill of his cap. Two balls, 2 strikes on the right-hand hitting Dave Skaggs. Kern with Kelly at third, sets and throws. Ground ball, shortstop side, Lavelle in front of it, grabs the long throw from the grass and safe at first. The ball, I think, may have come out of Andy's glove. He had to backhand the ball on the right field side, and he had a glove on it, but the first place umpire is Vic Voltaggio, and Andy was between us and the ball, but Voltaggio was pointing to the ground. I think the ball may have pounced out of the glove. Have to wait for the scoring on it. Run scores, and it is now a 6-3 game. The batter, Mark Belanger, he's had 2 hits and 3 trips, and he is the 9th man to bat here in the 6th inning for Baltimore. And the pitch. Down too low, ball 1. They've not made a ruling on that last play, and so we cannot tell you how to score it, whether it's an RBI or whether it's an error or what. Check on the run of the pitch. Check, swing, strike. There'll be an error charge on Lavelle Blanks on that last play, so there'll be no run batted in for Skaggs, but it counts nevertheless, and the Birds have scored 5 times in this inning. They lead 6-3. Pitch outside and high, 2 balls and a strike. David Clyde's record now complete. He allowed 5 runs, 4 earned. 2-1 pitch. Belanger takes it high, 3-1. This inning started with Dower flying out to left field. Then 3 straight hits by Singleton, Murray, and May. 1 run scored. DeCenze had a base hit. Drove in another ball, looked like a double play ball. Took a bad hop over Buddy's head. Fastball is inside, ball 4. And that puts runners at first and at second. And the 10th man to come along here in the 6th inning is Rich Dower. And out to the mound goes Gary Alexander. First walk allowed by Jim Kern. Dower in this ball game has grounded the short twice, and earlier this inning flied to left. Dower with a square stance. He's just now starting to hit the ball the way the Birds figured he could. Foul back in the screen. A couple of years ago, he was the outstanding player in the International League. Last year, could just really never got on track. And earlier this year was having his troubles, but they say in about the last 3 weeks, he has really started to hit the baseball. Batting average up to 265. 1 strike. Runners at first and at second. Pitch by Kern. Slide is low. Ball 1 and a strike. One pitch. Foul back, goes upstairs, Souvenir. Ball 1, strike 2. Jimmy Kern came on in this inning to pitch to Pat Kelly, who was pinch hitting for Mora. Gave up a base hit to Kelly, struck out Lopez, then Skaggs safe on the error. Slide it too low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. On deck is Ken Singleton. Jim Kern is ready. And the 2-2 pitch. Ground ball, third base. Buddy Bell in front of it has it. Throws across, side retired. However, in the inning for the Baltimore Orioles. They get 5 runs on 5 hits, 2 errors, making 2 of the runs unearned. 1 charge to Kern, 1 charge to Clyde. Birds leave 2. We go to the last half of the 6th inning. And the score, Baltimore with 6, the Cleveland Indians 3.
Say, did you hear about all the great specials at our car wash in Newark? Yeah, Wednesday is Ladies' Day. A wash is only 99 cents with a fill-up and $1.49 without. Thursday is Senior Citizens Day, and a wash with fill-up is just 69 cents, $1.29 without. Listen, Friday is TGIF Day, and Saturday is Hot Wax Day. Hot wax for just 79 cents. And on your birthday, you get a free car wash, and there's free vacuuming all the time. At our car wash at South 30th Street in Newark and Mount Vernon and Delaware.
Only the rich can afford to buy elsewhere. That's a little slogan that I was made up. This is Dave Smith of Dave Smith Ford. And that is right. Only the rich can afford to buy elsewhere because we will save you money on a new Ford, car, or truck. We have a very fine selection of used cars also at this time. We need more used cars, so if you do have a used car or especially a used truck you want to trade, bring it on over to us because we do need them. Dave Smith Ford, halfway between Columbus and Newark.
The Indians coming along in the 6th inning has some work to do. They trail by 3. Gary Alexander, Bernie Carbo, and Johnny Grubb against Dennis Martinez. Gary, the player of the week in the American League last week. Gary Alexander, 16 home runs, 42 RBIs, takes way up high, ball 1. In the bullpen, Paul Russell. Down to low, ball 2, 2-0. Two balls, no strikes. Big crowd on hand cheering for the Indians. Low outside, 3-0. And Dave Skaggs is running to the mound. Pat Kelly, who pinch hit for Andres Morris, stays in the game. He's playing in left field.
Chippy Martinez getting up again for the Orioles.
Gary Alexander, 3-0 count. Time called. The scoreboard is, they've got an animation on with the go sign flashing across the board, and up by Rich Garcia just called time. He says you can't do that. The distraction to the hitter. The wind-up and the pitch. Right through the middle, 3-1. Gary Alexander's squaring around the box to try and distract Martinez. Didn't do it. 3 balls and a strike. Inside, ball 4. The Indians with a man on, nobody out here in the 6th. Second walk issued by Martinez and brings up Bernie Carbo. And brings Earl Weaver out of the dugout. I think Earl is now going to complain about the scoreboard, maybe. Earl talking with Rich Garcia. Maybe it's not that. Maybe there's something wrong with Martinez. Earl wants to go out and talk with him, but he wants to make sure that it's not going to count as a trip to the mound. Rich Garcia walking along with him. And we're going to get a pitching change. That'll be Dennis Martinez to relieve Tippy Martinez. They are not related. So for Martinez, he goes 5 innings plus. He has allowed 3 runs, all earned. He has walked 2, struck out 4, and he allowed the Indians 7 base hits. He can win this game. He cannot lose it. We'll be back to tell you about Tippy Martinez after we have this timeout.
Now at Merle's Union 76 station at the corner of Main and Coshocton in Johnstown, your car air conditioning system will be checked inside and out for only $9.95. Now that's some special. Merle's will check your air conditioner condenser for dirt, check the pressure on the high and low side, look for bubbles and leaks, check your thermostat and clutch operation, check coolant and protection levels, check the pressure cap, radiator pressure and cleanliness, and all the radiator and heater hoses and V-belts, all for just $9.95. At Merle's Union 76 station in Johnstown, trust Merle's and cool it.
Get into the swing of things at Broadview Golf Course at rounds 310 and 16 in Pataskala, 10 minutes east of I-270 on Broad Street. Broadview is a beautiful 9-hole 35-par course that's open to the public. You'll be pleased when you see the watered fairways and pleasant surroundings. No tee times are required, and club and electric cart rental is available. You'll find fine food and beverages in the clubhouse, and the Pro Shop carries anything the golfer wants or needs at special discount prices. Broadview Golf Course at routes 310 and 16 in Pataskala, a challenging 9-hole golf course.
From Granada, nope, that's the other one. He is from La Junta in Colorado. Tippy is 5'10", 170. This will be his 28th appearance, or 29th, all in relief. 41 and a third innings, 52 hits, 29 runs, 27 of them earned, 4 home runs yielded, 38 strikeouts, 24 walks. He's won 2, he's lost 1, he's saved 2, and has an earned run average of 5.88. However, against the Indians, Tippy Martinez has been murdered. 5 innings and 3 appearances, 2 hits, no runs, 6 strikeouts, 1 win, no losses, and they have not scored off Martinez yet this year. Herb?
And the Indians are going to counter Martinez with Teddy Cox. He'll pinch hit for Bernie Carbo. Cox coming on with a batting average of .222. No home runs, 10 runs batted in. Indians trail by 3 here in the 6th inning. Indians had a 3-1 lead going into this inning, and then the Birds erupted for 5 runs in the 6th. And in that 6th inning, Orioles had 5 runs and 5 hits, and all the hits were singles. This is what you call being singled to death. Here's Ted Cox. Tippy Martinez, the left-hander, and Eddie Murray indicating he's going to hold on against the runner. Fastball over but low, ball 1. The Indians playing the end of this brief homestand, 2-day homestand. They'll be over in Detroit tomorrow night. Ground ball off the plate near second base. Grabbed by Belanger. Steps on the bag. Throws the first to double play. Well, that was tailor-made. A big high hop off home plate over the mound. Belanger took it about a step from the bag at second. Stepped on the bag. Fired the first. And there's 2 men gone. 6-3 on that double play. Here's John Grubb. He has had a perfect night. A home run, his 8th of the year. And a base on ball. So he is 1 for 1.
Dennis Martinez bruised his left hip last inning, back in the 5th inning, on that ball.
Fastball, too low, ball 1. Dennis Martinez, when he dove on the play at third base to try and tag Manning, bruised his hip. That's one of the reasons they removed him from the game. Apparently was stiffening up between innings. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and a strike. Johnny Grubb. High pop. Shallow left center field. Going out, Belanger coming on the center fielder Lopez. He runs under it and grabs it. In the 6th inning, the Indians, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. At the end of 6 here in the stadium, the score, Baltimore 6 and Cleveland 3.
Today there's a...
About time you got here. Can't lay another foot of track till we unload your flat cars.
Help yourself. And there's a mail pouch for you back in the caboose.
Oh, that'll have my tobacco in it. Hank, tell the men I got some real fine leaf tobacco for chewing. Came in the mail pouch. The men who want to share line up at the caboose. You others, get these barrels of spikes off the flat car.
The story of a great American tradition, mail pouch chewing tobacco. Mail pouch was America's first brand of leaf tobacco, and it's been pleasing men ever since. That's because mail pouch has its own special, one-of-a-kind flavor that comes from over 90 years' experience in giving tobacco chewers what they want. A clean, fresh taste that's not too strong, but isn't too sweet either. A flavor that really lasts and satisfies a man all day long. So if you haven't tried mail pouch lately, chew a few packs and taste the mail pouch difference. You'll see why it's become a tradition to chew mail pouch and treat yourself to the best.
Ken Singleton, Eddie Murray, and Lee May in the 7th inning against Jim Kern. It was Singleton who started the 5-run uprising for the Orioles in the 6th inning of play. 5 has been a popular number. San Diego hit the Giants with 5 on their way to a 7-5 victory. And Toronto just bopped the Tigers with 5 runs in the 4th inning of play to take a 5-1 lead behind Baylor Moore. That game is now in the 5th. Other games tonight: Houston 2-1 over Cincinnati in the 6th. Atlanta at Los Angeles, Hanna against Sutton. Minnesota 2-0 over Milwaukee in the 3rd. That's Travers against Sarum. Kansas City 1-0 over California at the end of 3. Frost against Gale. And Oakland will use Manetto tonight at Seattle against Honeycutt. First pitch, and Singleton fouls it to the screen, strike one. Singleton is turned around now and batting left-handed against the right-hander Jim Kern. And if you're wondering who Manetto is, I have no idea either. I would assume he's probably some young draftee that Charlie's given another shot at the big time. Pitch is outside to Singleton, and the count is 1-1. Kenny has bounced to short, struck out swinging, slapped a single to center field, eventually scored on a Lee May run producer, and that started the ball rolling. Wind up, and Kern's 1-1 pitch. Singleton takes a fastball inside, 2-1. Turn Kenny around to the left side. You get 40 more points of batting average, all 7 of his home runs, and 21 of his 26 RBIs. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Singleton takes high, 3-1. Singleton has also walked 35 times as a lefty as compared to only 9 times from the right side. 3-1 pitch. Singleton walks again. High fastball. And Jim Kern walks his second man. Now this will bring up Eddie Murray, and he too swings around to the left side. Murray 1 for 3 with a run scored. Singleton will be replaced now by Larry Harlow. Harlow running for Singleton. Harlow, in all probability, will then go into the outfield. Top of the 7th, Orioles lead 6-3. Alexander goes to the mound for a chat with Jim Kern. You swing Eddie Murray around to the left side, you get 8 more points in batting average, you get 9 more home runs, and you get 20 more RBIs. And now Jeff Torborg hiking to the mound. In the bullpen, he's got the left-hander Don Hood and the right-hander Paul Rushell. Of course, Murray can just swing one way and then the next. Torborg arriving on the mound, chatting with Kern. Here comes the home plate umpire, Rich Garcia. Murray's going to go back to the on-deck square. So Singleton opens with a walk. Harlow running for him. And we have the 7th inning underway on a shaky note. Strategy session, because Torborg now finishes his conversation with Kern and comes back to the dugout. And here comes Eddie Murray. He's also going to put Lee May on deck. Oh, Kern ready. Alexander squats down, shoots the sign. Here's the stretch. And here's the pitch. Fastball outside, ball 1. Orioles 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors. Cleveland 3 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors. Throw to first, and diving back is Harlow. Orioles with a double by Belanger and ground balls took a 1-0 lead in the first. Hits by Manning and Bell and a fielder's choice by Thornton tied it at the end of one. There's a high drive to left field off the bat of Eddie Murray. Johnny Grubb coming in under the ball, makes the catch, and there's one out. Harlow goes back to first base. Indians took the lead in the second inning on a Johnny Grubb homer, increased it to 3-1, and an Andre Thornton home run in the fourth, and then the roof collapsed in the sixth inning when the Orioles scored 5 times. 6-3 the score. Lee May bounced to first, walked, and had an infield hit to the shortstop that produced that first 5 runs in the sixth. Fastball outside, a pitch out. I thought Harlow might be going. He was not, and the count is 1-0. Hood the left-hander, Russell the right-hander in the bullpen for the Indians. Kern in relief of David Clyde. Stretch, throw to first. Back goes Harlow. Stretch by Kern. 1-0 pitch, runner going, swing and a miss. Alexander's throw, ball off the glove of Piper into center field, and over to third base goes Harlow.
Stolen base and an error 2.
Stolen base and an error on the throw. Earl Weaver is going to come out and argue with Nestor Shylock now that there should be 2 bases. This is more of a discussion than an argument, though, judging from the 2 men talking. For Larry Harlow, that is his 12th stolen base of the year. Well, Weaver back into the dugout. That is also the Indians' 3rd error of the night. 2 of them helped prolong the 5-run 6th inning. Harlow at third and 1 out. Stretch by Kern. Checks the runner at third. 1-1 pitch, and May checks his swing. Pitch is low. 2 balls and a strike. Infield tightened up all the way around. Thornton at first, Kuiper at second, Blanks at short, Bell at third. Now Grubb in left, Manning in center, Dade in right. Pitch to May. High pop-up out into short right field. Paul Dade coming on, getting under the ball, makes the catch. Runner Harlow bluffs off the bag, and the throw comes in, and Harlow goes back. 2 out. This brings on Doug DeCenze. DeCenze has flied to center, popped to second. He had a bad hop single over Buddy Bell's head to drive in a run in the 6th inning that tied the game at 3. And a hit by Kelly put him ahead, and an error brought in the other run. Six to 3, Baltimore in the top of the 7th. Runner at third and 2 outs. Stretch by Kern, and the pitch. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. Strike 1. Harlow running for Singleton at third base. Pat Kelly on deck. Stretch by Kern, and DeCenze steps back. Time call. The pitch. Slider, low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pat Kelly with that hit as a pinch hitter in the 6th inning is now just 9 away from 1,000 hits for his career. Stretch. And the 1-1 pitch. DeCenze pops it foul back into the upper deck, and the count is 1-2. Baltimore leading 6-3 in the 7th inning. DeCenze steps back. Here's the pitch. DeCenze pops it foul. This one will go out of play to the left, and the count remains at 1-2. Houston still leading 2-1 over the Reds in the 6th at Cincinnati. Minnesota has knocked out Travers, and the Twins lead the Brewers 4-0 after 3. Kansas City 1-0 over California and batting in the 4th. Pitch to DeCenze. Strike 3 on the slider. He was backing away, argues with Garcia, but he was in no position to see that pitch. Well, DeCenze is called out on strikes, and Kern gets out of a problem. In the top of the 7th, no runs, no hits, a walk and an error, and a man left on base. And at the end of 6 1/2 innings of play, you Indian fans, wherever on this 4th of July, up on your feet for the 7th inning stretch. The score, the Baltimore Orioles 6 and the Cleveland Indians 3.
It's time to let it go. It's the night time. So just say bird. And for the king of hills, and settle back and please yourself. No matter what you do, no matter when or where, you know a glass of blood is like an easy chair when you say Budweiser.
Yeah, that's right. There's nothing like getting home, especially when there's a cold can of Bud waiting for you.
When you say Budweiser, you say it all.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
Lopez goes into right field, and Harlow is in center field in the 7th inning. Harlow, of course, replacing Singleton as a pinch runner. That second game in New York, the Phillies and the Mets have played 5, and the Mets lead 2-0 after shutting out Philadelphia in the opener 4-0. Cincinnati fails in the 6th. Houston leads there 2-1. Kansas City fails in the 4th, leading California 1-0. Here it is 6-3 Baltimore in the 7th inning of play. Larvell blanks. Larvell is flied to right and had an infield hit to the shortstop. 1 for 2 on the night, hitting .245. Wind up with a pitch to blanks. Strike 1. Tippy Martinez in relief of Dennis Martinez. Next pitch to Larvell, low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Dwayne Kuiper on deck. 1-1 pitch. Curveball high. 2 balls and a strike. Indians scored single runs in innings 1, 2, and 4. Grubb and Thornton have homered. 2-1 pitch. Blanks low and inside with it. The count is 3-1. Tippy Martinez has now slammed the door on the Indians over 6 innings of relief work this year, covering 3 appearances. They haven't even come close to scoring a run.
He has been very tough on them.
Wind up by Tippy, and the 3-1 pitch to Larvell. Blanks fouls it off to the right out of play, and the count is 3-2. Blanks, Kuiper in the top of the order day. Wind up by Martinez. 3-2 pitch. Blanks rips it into right field, a base hit. Larvell Blanks 2 for 3. First hit off Tippy Martinez in the 8th Indian hit of the night. The batter is Dwayne Kuiper. Kuiper has bounced to short and bounced to second. The Blue Jays are rolling tonight 6-1 over the Tigers in the 5th. First pitch to Dwayne is a strike. At the knees, strike 1. Bullpen activity. Don Stanhouse warming up for the Orioles. Pitch to Kite. Inside. Almost hit him.
Almost got him as right.
He dropped the bat. Got him back out of the way.
Same kind of pitch that nicked him last night.
1 ball, 1 strike. The stretch. 1-1 pitch. Kuiper hits one on a line to the second baseman. He then, in getting the ball out of his glove to throw, dropped it, so there was no chance to double up Blanks. 1 out. Kuiper landing back to his opposite number. And this brings on Paul Dade. Dade has been called out on strikes, single to center, was caught stealing, and then tried to butt his way on and was retired by the first baseman unassisted. Home half of the 7th inning, the Orioles lead 6-3 with Blanks at first and 1 out. Stretch by Tippy Martinez, and the pitch. High foul fly right side, back out of play. Strike 1. Rick Manning on deck. Indians fly over to Detroit tomorrow morning. We'll play the Tigers tomorrow night and Thursday night. Come home for the Red Sox Friday night, a twilighter Saturday night, and bat day on Sunday afternoon. The stretch. Strike 1 pitch. Dade fouls it back. Strike 2. Herb mentioned before, the Wahoo Club will have their luncheon on Friday at noon at the Bond Court Hotel. Jim Shanley will interview Jeff Torborg. Red Sox broadcaster Dick Stockton will interview Boston manager Don Zimmer. Dan Spillner and Dave Freisleben also in attendance at 12 noon Friday.
And Gary Alexander.
Ah, yes. He was in capital letters. I missed him there on that note. The pitch. Foul ball back again. Strike 2 the count. Home half of the 7th inning. Stretch by Tippy. The pitch. Way outside with a fastball, 1-2. Pitch to Dade, wrapped foul to the coach's box at third, 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 out, 7th inning. 6-3 Orioles. Marvell Blanks leads at first. Stretch of the pitch. Dade hits it down the third baseline. Great stop by DeCinze. Throws off balance, and they call out Blanks at second base.
Oh, my. I don't know about the call at second, but I'll tell you one thing. That was a great play by DeCinze. Close play at second. I don't know how he made the play.
Tell you about that call, Herb. I would say this. If it was anybody other than Nestor Shylock, I'd just flat out say he missed it. With Nestor, he's so good that you have to say, well, maybe he saw something I didn't.
Boy, that was some play.
Outstanding.
A lot of people here tonight. They just had their money's worth with that play.
2 outs, Manning at bat, 2 for 3 on the night. Stretch of the pitch, and Manning looked like he was going to bunt. Took a pitch low and outside, ball 1. A great play by Doug DeCinze, diving behind the bag at third. He picked off that shot and threw out Blanks at second. Pitch to Manning, curve inside, 2-0. Stanhouse stays warm in the Oriole bullpen. Tippy Martinez looks in, gets the sign from Dave Skaggs. The pitch, Manning pops it up. Third baseman DeCinze moving over to his left under the ball, makes the catch, and the side is retired. So, courtesy of Doug DeCinze, no runs and a hit with a man left, and at the end of 7 innings of play, it is Baltimore 6, Cleveland 3.
You know, listening to Major League Baseball on 3WJ is a great way to follow the national pastime. But to really appreciate the game, the J take you out to the ball game.
Well, the Indians, a new pitcher, Paul Russell, will come on. For Kern, an inning and 2/3. Jim gave up a run. It was unearned. Charged with 1 hit, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. Paul Russell. Paul, a big right-hander, will be making his third appearance for the Indians, an earned run average of 0.87. 10 in the third innings. He's allowed 9 hits, just the 1 run, 3 walks, and has not struck anybody out yet. Paul Russell, who has done his pitching with the Chicago Cubs prior to coming to the Indians. He lives in Quincy, Illinois.
Pitch is a fastball strike 1. Now, you're going to make Paul very unhappy.
Why?
He lives in Camp Point, Illinois.
They told me Quincy. You should always said, yeah, it's right outside of Quincy, right?
Here's it. Well, not quite. Down the road a beat.
Right.
Strike 2 the count.
He was born in Quincy, Illinois.
Right.
I know that.
And lives on a farm just outside Camp Point, Illinois.
He's a big fella, 6'4", 210 pounds, 31 years old.
First go against the Orioles. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Kelly. Chop foul to the plate, and the count is 1-2, or still 0-2, and Kelly took that one off his foot. Well, they just gave us a buzz from downtown, and the American League starting lineup has been announced. Rod Carew at first base, Don Money at second base. Somebody will have to walk out there and show him where it is.
Right, he has. I don't know how many. He hasn't played a half a dozen games there this year.
Patek at short, Brett at third, Fiskatch outfield of Zisk, Jackson, and Rice. Pitch to Kelly, fastball low and inside 1-2. Carew polled more than 4 million votes. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Kelly. Low, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Money's played a lot of second base in his career, but this is not one of those years.
He's played third this year. He's played first. He's even played a little bit in the outfield.
2-2 pitch, fastball low and inside, a full count of 3-2. Pat Kelly facing Paul Russell. We've seen Clyde, Kern, and now Russell. 6-3 Baltimore in the top of the 8th. Wind up, payoff pitch to Kelly. Hits it hard. Kuiper dives, grabs, up, throws, got him.
You want to see an all-star play? There it was.
1 out. Oh, indeed that was. Matters Carlos Lopez started the night in center field, now playing in right. He singled to center, bounced to third, and struck out swinging. 1 for 3 on the night. Wind up in the pitch. Lopez moves to bunt and missed the ball, but he got the bat back according to the home plate umpire, and it is ball 1. 1 out, nobody on the top of the wind up, and the 1-0 pitch. Long drive to left field. Grubb going back at the fence, stop, got it. Oh, when that started out, it looked like it was going into the lake.
He got a little bit too high, thank goodness.
2 outs. Skaggs, a fly to center. Blue pit to right. Safe on an error in the big 5-run 6th. Six to 3 Baltimore with 2 outs now and nobody on in the 8th. Paul Russell wheels and deals, and Skaggs takes a strike of the knees, strike 1. Russell ready again. The big right-hander throws. Fastball, strike 2.
Rick Russell does not waste any time, and he throws strikes.
Wind up by Paul, and the 0-2 pitch, fly ball left field. Grubb coming toward the foul line, makes the catch to the side, is retired. Well, Paul Russell puts them away 1-2-3, and at the end of 7 1/2 innings of play, it is Baltimore 6 and Cleveland 3.
Here's some.
Bell, Thornton, and Alexander in the 8th inning of play. The Indians trailing 6-3. I'm sure they are still counting the crowd, Herb, because this is one of those crowds that showed up for the last minute.
Yeah, very good crowd. Buddy Bell tonight has singled
Bounce to second and to third. 1 for 3 on the night. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Cleveland Indians Baseball Network.
This is 3WJ, Central Ohio's home, and the Cleveland Cavaliers, Browns, and Indians. WWJ, Johnstown.
Timmy Martinez ready to work to Buddy Bell. First pitch, and Buddy takes a fastball, low, ball 1. Buddy hitting .305. Wind up on the pitch. Bell takes the breaking ball low, and the count is 2-0. Martinez came on in the 6th, served up a double play ball, and has not been in trouble since. Fastball low and outside, 3-0. He might well have been in trouble in the 7th, except for a sensational play at third base by Doug DeCenze. Martinez looks in and gets the sign. Here's the stretch. 3-0 pitch to Buddy, and Bell takes high, ball 4. First walk given up by Tippy, and the third by Oriole pitching.
Doug DeCenze running over to the mound.
Thornton, 1 for 3, a home run in the 4th, his 14th of the year.
Better get activity down to the bullpen. Going to be Stanhouse, I believe.
He had been up before.
That's who it is.
Thornton hitting .267. Stretched by Tippy in the pitch, and Andre takes a fastball. Strike 1. Tippy Martinez. Time called. They're pointing out to left field where evidently a ball got away. It's way out on the warning path, and Pat Kelly's going to run it down. Philadelphia still has not scored in that doubleheader in New York. Now in the 7th inning. 2-0 Mets. Mets won the first game 4-0. Stretch. Strike 1 pitch. Thornton takes the curve for a strike, and the count is strike 2. Gary Alexander on deck. Thornton stepping back. Spillner and Manji in the bullpen for the Indians. The pitch. Fastball low, 1 ball, 2 strikes. A 5-run 6th inning. The big uprising in this contest tonight. Stretch of the pitch. Thornton hits it hard into the hole at shortstop. Belanger knocks it down. Can't make a play, and everybody's safe. Base hit. Two on, nobody out, and here's Gary Alexander.
And here's Earl Weaver running to the mound.
Hits are even at 9.
Only the second hit off Martinez. He wants Stanhouse.
Well, Tippy Martinez works a total of 2 innings plus. Has given up 2 hits. They haven't scored on him yet. He walked 1 man, didn't strike anybody out. And Don Stanhouse is coming into the ball game, and we'll give you the word on Stanhouse after this timeout.
The first-place Boston Red Sox with sluggers like Jim Rice, Carl Yastrzemski, Dwight Evans, and Butch Hobson will battle the Cleveland Indians this weekend in a big 4-game series. The Indians have planned special events in all 3 days to add to your enjoyment of the action. Friday is Daly's Poster Night, and all fans, except those in the bleachers, receive a full-color poster featuring 11 of your favorite tribesmen. Game time is 7:35. Saturday night will be a twilight doubleheader starting at 5:35 for Little Farmers Night. Don't miss the fun as players from both clubs engage in cow milking and egg toss competition. There'll be lots of prizes, too, including a Chevrolet love truck from Bill Vorney Chevrolet, a microwave oven, a year's supply of eggs, and many more. The Indians and Red Sox wind up the series with a single game on Sunday at 2:05, and that'll be bat day. All youngsters 14 and under, except those in the bleachers, receive an official Little League bat, each one bearing the insignia of an Indians player. So make your plans now to see the Indians and the Red Sox at the stadium. Call the Indians ticket hotline now at area code 216-241-5555.
Don Stanhouse, the right-hander, coming on. He has been the busiest of Oriole pitchers. He and Tippy Martinez have now both had the same number of appearances. This will be Stanhouse's 29th. Stanhouse has won 2 and lost 5, but he has saved 11. He has 11 of the 13 saves by the Oriole staff. His earned run average, 2.87. In 28 previous appearances, he only worked 37 and 2/3 innings, 27 hits. He has walked 29. He has struck out 21. Stanhouse, 27 years old, 6'2", about 195 pounds. Stanhouse last year pitched at Montreal, where he won 10 and lost 10 and saved 10. His earned run average last year, 3.42. And for Montreal last year, he was in 47 games. So, Don Stanhouse. Stanhouse, fastball, slider, and curve. And the right-hander will be facing Gary Alexander with runners at first and at second for the Tribe. Nobody out here in the 8th inning. Indians trail by 3. And Gary Alexander has made a specialty of hitting 3-run homers. Let us hope it continues.
Stanhouse, 4th appearance, 5 1/3 innings, 0-2 against Cleveland with 1 save at a 6.75 ERA. Stanhouse versus Alexander. Right-hander against right-hander. Alex tonight has struck out, bounced to second, and walked. Hitting .234. Fell at second. Thornton at first. 6-3. Baltimore in the 8th. Stanhouse nods, stretches, and delivers. Bouncing ball into left field, a base hit. Here comes Bell. He will score. Thornton digging to third. Safe. 6-4 in the 8th.
Gary Alexander with his 43rd RBI.
And his 21st run batted in as an Indian.
And he's playing in his 21st game as an Indian.
That also extends his hitting streak to 7 games in a row. Jimmy Norris will be batting for Cox as the DH.
That run is charged to Tippy Martinez.
First one the Indians have been able to get off him all year. Norris, a lefty, against the right-hand pitcher. Jimmy hitting at .252, 1 homer, 14 RBIs. Thornton at third, Alexander at first. Norris in last night's game, 0 for 1. Pitch. Norris takes on outside, ball 1. Flynn going to work in the Baltimore bullpen. Eighth inning, 6-4. Stanhouse stretches. Pitch to Norris. Jimmy takes a strike of the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. Johnny Grubb on deck. Stanhouse looks in again. Nods. Still looking. Now he steps back and time called. A walk, an infield hit by Thornton, and a base hit for an RBI by Alexander. 6-4 Baltimore, but the Indians are trying to put it together. 1-1 pitch. Norris, line drive, left side, foul ball in the bullpen. 1-2 the count. Stanhouse doesn't like the baseball that he gets from Rich Garcia and exchanges it. Murray holding with a runner at first. Dower at second, Belanger at short, DeCinces at third, Kelly in left, Harlow in center, Lopez in right, Skaggs catching, Stanhouse the third pitcher on the mound for the Orioles. The stretch, 1-2 pitch to Jimmy Norris. Norris takes low and inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Johnny Grubb on deck to the right. Indians at one point led 3-1. The Orioles took a 6-3 lead. The Indians have chipped away and have a run here in the 8th, 6-4. 2 on, nobody out. Stanhouse stretches. 2-2 pitch. Norris takes low and inside. 3-2.
Gary Alexander checking across. He wants to see whether or not he's running.
Stanhouse kicking at the dirt on the rubber. Now Jonasic has a bit of a chat with Andre Thornton. Stretch. Here comes the payoff pitch. It is ball 4. Bases are loaded with nobody out.
And the batter, Johnny Grubb.
Johnny Grubb homered the first time, walked the next time, and popped to the center fielder in the 6th. So the bases are loaded with nobody out. 6-4 Baltimore. Stanhouse against Grubb.
Stanhouse and Grubb not strangers. They both played in the National League.
Thornton at third, Alexander at second, and Norris at first. Stanhouse nods. Here's the stretch. Here's the pitch. Foul ball back. Strike 1. John Flynn still working in the Baltimore bullpen. Belanger and Dower get straightened away on any play that comes their way as to who will cover at the bag. Stanhouse turns, looks back off towards center field. Pulls on the bill of his cap. Looks in for the sign from Skaggs. He's still looking. He steps back. Strike 1 the count. Again the look. He nods. Stretches. Strike 1 pitch. Grubb swing and a miss. Strike 2. Thornton at third, Alexander at second, Norris at first. The Indians have scored once and have cut the Baltimore lead to 6-4. Stretch by Stanhouse. He continues to gaze to the plate. He's ready. Pitch. Grubb fouls it back. That one whistling into one of the booths right down to our left. Still strike 2.
Might be the booth where Wayne Garland is. Get the walkie-talkie.
Dower comes in to talk to Stanhouse, and now Skaggs is going to go out. Here's the attendance.
Good crowd.
36,300 at the stadium. Outstanding. 2 strikes. Nobody out. Bases loaded. The nod. The stretch. The pitch. Low. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He tried to jam him with a slider right down near the knees.
Larvell blanks on deck. Stanhouse working very carefully. Nods. Stretches. 1-2 pitch to Grubb. Outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Stanhouse had him 2 strikes, and he had a couple of pitches he could work with. And now he's got to come around the plate.
It started with a walk to Bell, then an infield hit by Thornton, and an RBI single by Alexander, and a walk to Norris. Stanhouse looks in, gets the sign. Here's the stretch. 2-2 pitch. Grubb chops the ball foul. Beyond the coach's box at third. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Mark Belanger and the catcher. Dave Skaggs going out to talk.
We're in the 8th. 6-4 the score. They're in the 8th at Cincinnati, and Houston leads the Reds tonight 3-1 behind J.R. Richards. Kansas City with a 2-0 lead over California. They have played 6 at KC. Stanhouse ready to work again on Johnny Grubb. 2-2 count, nobody out, bases loaded. 6-4 Baltimore in the 8th. He nods. He stretches. The pitch. Grubb, swing and a miss.
Got a piece
Foul
of it.
tip. Foul tip. He's still alive. Just managed to put enough wood on the ball to deflect it out of the glove of the catcher to stay alive at 2-2. So we'll go through it again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, bases loaded, 8th inning. Baltimore leads 6-4. Johnny Grubb at bat. Don Stanhouse on the mound. Stanhouse nods, stretches, 2-2 pitch. Grubb swing and a miss, struck him out.
Got him on a slider.
1 out. Larvell Blank has flied to right, had a hit to the shortstop and single to right. 2 for 3 on the night, hitting .250. Blank 3 for 5 last night, so he is 5 for 8 in this series. Waving the right fielder Lopez in right field. Don Stanhouse. We've seen Dennis Martinez, Tippy Martinez, and now Stanhouse. Indians have used 3. Clyde, Kern, and Russell. Stretch of the pitch. Larvell hits the ball back to the shortstop. Second base 1, first base double play, and the Indians fail to get any more than 1. 1 run, 2 hits, 2 walks, 1 left. We're going to the 9th. Baltimore 6, Cleveland 4. Paul Russell in the 9th will work on the top of the Oriole order. Mark Belanger, Rich Dower, and Larry Harlow. Well, the Indians had a golden chance in the 8th and could come up with only 1 run. They had the bases loaded, that run home, and nobody out, and failed to score. Belanger tonight has doubled and scored singles, bounced to third and walked. 2 for 3 on the night. Wind up by Russell. First pitch to Belanger. Strike on the slider, strike 1. Wind up on the next pitch. Belanger takes high outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The thing you have to like about Russell, he just grabs that ball and comes at you.
He sure does.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Foul ball off the check swing. Back out of play, still 1-2.
He can really change speeds also. He's really effective that way.
Time called. That ball hit the facing of the upper deck, and the foul came back out on the field. Count is 1-2. Orioles with a run on the first and 5 in the 6th. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Belanger takes high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Indians a run in the first, a run in the second, a run in the fourth, and a run in the eighth. 2-2 pitch. High, full count of 3-2. Wind up with a payoff pitch to Belanger. Inside and high, ball 4. Belanger walks to start the 9th. First walk given up by Russell and the 4th by Indian pitching. Rich Dower, the batter. Dower has bounced to short into a double play, short to second to first, fly to left and bounced to third. He batted twice in the 6th inning and made 2 of the 3 outs. Top of the 9th, 6-4, Baltimore leads. Time called. Dower will go to talk to the third base coach, Cal Ripken, so they can get their signs squared away. Boy, Oakland comes out swinging tonight. They got that kid Manetto pitching. I have no idea where he came from. But Tarzan Joe Wallace just hit his first American League home run with a man on. Tony Armaz did a 2-run shot, and it's 5-2 Oakland at the end of 3 in Seattle. Pitch to Dower, squares and bunts, first baseline foul to Thornton, strike 1. You know, Herb, when the A's had that big slump, losing 17 out of 21, everybody automatically wrote them off, but hey, they're right back in that thing
They've
now.
come right back at you.
The pitch, again Dower to bunt, strike called. Ninth inning, a runner at first base. Pitch, wrapped to third. Bell around the horn to Kuiper. 1 back to first, double play, and a neat job by Kuiper.
Boy, Kuiper did a super job. The throw by Buddy was down a little bit low, and he had to grab it and get up in the air and fire it, and he did.
2 outs of the 9th. This brings on Larry Harlow for the first time. Harlow pinch ran back in the 7th and then stayed on to play in the outfield. He's hitting .250 with 3 homers, 13 RBIs. He went 0 for 4 in last night's game. Wind up and the pitch to the left-hand batter. It's a strike of the knees, strike 1. Top of the 9th, strike 1 pitch. Low, check swing, but stopped it in plenty of time, and the count evens out at 1-1. In the bullpen, Manji and Spillner, just in case. There's a strike. Count goes to 1-2. Oh, Maddox homered for Philadelphia in the 8th. That's their first run in that doubleheader, but it came with the bases empty. They still trail 2-1 in the second game. The pitch, high fly ball, center field. Manning coming in under the ball, makes the catch, and Paul Russell nails him again in the 9th. No runs, no hits, a walk, and nobody left. And at the end of 8 1/2 innings of play, the score is Baltimore 6 and Cleveland 4. Stanhouse in the last of the 9th will face Kuiper. From the top of the order, Dade and Manning. They're in the 9th of that second game in New York. The Mets lead the Phillies 2-1 behind Craig Swan. Zachary threw a 2-hit shutout of the Phillies in the first game, and Mazzilli had a grand slam to win it. Boy, they're having fun tonight in Albuquerque. At the end of 6 innings of play, it is Salt Lake City 16, Albuquerque 2. They had a 10-run third inning.
Have to borrow a few of those runs.
Dwayne Kuiper. He has bounced to short, bounced to second, and line to the second baseman. 0 for 3 on the night, and 0 for 5 in the series. Wind up by the right hand of the first pitch to Dwayne. He takes a strike. On the letter, strike one. Murray at first, Dower at second. Belanger at short. DeCenze at third. An outfield of Kelly, Harlow, and Lopez. Skaggs catching, Stanhouse pitching, Kuiper swinging and missing. And the count is strike two. Last of the ninth. Stanhouse ready. Wind up. 0-2 pitch. Kuiper takes low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Again, the windup by the right-hander. The 1-2 pitch. Kuiper fouls it down the left side into the seats, so the count remains at 1-2. Baltimore got the first run. The Indians tied it, took a 3-1 lead. Baltimore hit them with 5 in the 6th. The Indians got 1 back in the 8th and blew a golden chance. Bases loaded, nobody out, and couldn't score. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch to Kuiper. Inside, backs him away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Look in for the sign by Stanhouse. Winds up. 2-2 pitch to Kuiper, and Dwayne hit the little looper down the left side. DeCenze going back on the dead run. Reached out, caught the ball, hit the ground, and hung on.
DeCenze has given a pretty good demonstration of how to play third base tonight.
1 out in the 9th. He sure has.
Oh, it was in foul territory. Nevertheless, a fine play.
Top of the order, Paul Dade. He has been called out on strike, single to center. Tried to butt his way on, was out by the first baseman unassisted, and he was robbed by DeCenze's great play in the 7th inning. 1 for 4. Doug DeCenze at third base and Dwayne Kuiper at second base for the Indians tonight have really given defense an airing here tonight. Wind up, pitch today. PD takes a fastball high, ball 1. Molitor is homered for Milwaukee in the 6th, but they still trail the Twins 5-1. Twins are 9 games under 500 and still only 7 back. 1-0 pitch. Dade swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Stanhouse even on the count with Dade. Manning on deck. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Dade fouls it down the right side, back out of play. Murray started over, but no chance, and it's 1-2. Now the Reds are batting in the last of the 9th, and Houston leads 3-1 behind J.R. Richards. Stanhouse surveying the outfield scene. Well, that home run by Molitor made the Twins mad. They got 2 more runs, and now they lead 7-1 over Milwaukee after 6. Wind up by Stanhouse. 1-2 pitch today. PD takes low and outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Stanhouse winds up. 2-2 pitch. Dade takes a fastball low. Full count of 3-2. We won't see the Orioles again until September. 3-2 pitch to Dade. Low and outside, ball 4. Second walk for Stanhouse.
Anytime you can get that potential tying run at home plate, that is not too bad.
Manning is single to left, bounced to short, single to center, and popped to third. 2 for 4 on the night. Hitting .261. Stanhouse will go back to the stretch with Manning at bat. Stanhouse nods. The pitch. That's a strike at the knees, strike one. Rick Manning at bat. One out of the ninth, 6-4 Baltimore. Dade at first base. He just walked. Stanhouse wants the signs run through one more time. Manning steps back, and Stanhouse turns and gazes again into the outfield. The pitch is a strike at the knees. Strike two.
Made a pretty good pitch on that. Ball right over the outside corner, knee high.
Stanhouse last year in Toronto was 10-10 with an earned run average of 3.42.
Yeah, the 10's running for him. He also saved 10 games.
He has 11 saves this year. Pitch to Manning, high and inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And he could have 12 if he can hold the fort here in the ninth. One ball, 2 strikes. Dade leads at first. Stanhouse ready with the pitch to Manning. Checks Dade. Looks at him again. The stretch. 1-2 pitch. Manning takes high and outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Last of the ninth at the stadium. 36,300 here. The stretch. And the 2-2 pitch to Manning. Hits a drive into left field, a base hit. Dade goes to second and hangs on, and the Indians have runners at first and at second with 1 out of the ninth. And Flynn is up again in the bullpen.
Rick Manning's 3rd hit of the game. And that time, with 2 strikes on it, he's just guarding home plate at a nice controlled swing.
Second hit off Stanhouse, a total of 11 by the Indians. Buddy Bell. Buddy has singled, bounced to second to third, and he's walked. 1 for 3 on the night with a run scored. Hitting .305. Dade at second, Manning at first. Thornton on deck. The Indians are not going without a struggle. Stretch. Pitch to Bell. Outside, ball 1. Kuiper fouls the third. Dade walked and Manning singled. The stretch. 1-0 pitch. Bell takes high, ball 2. John Flynn working in the Baltimore bullpen. Van Scanning, let's go, buddy. Dade at second. Manning at first. 1 out, last of the ninth. Stretch by Stanhouse. 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. 2-1.
Oh, Buddy had a good cut at that 2-0 pitch. Well, since Stanhouse has come on, Joe, he has been in a little trouble. Last inning, bases loaded, nobody out. Got out of it.
2-1 the count. Buddy Bell at bat. The stretch. 2-1 pitch. Low ball 3, 3-1. Andre Thornton on deck. looks in again. Nods. Stretches. Dower goes into second base. Stanhouse steps back. Dade retreats to the bag. Three balls and a strike. Stretch by Stanhouse. 3-1 pitch. Strike two. Fastball, and it's a full count of 3-2. Dade at second and Manning at first. One out in the last of the ninth, and the Orioles lead 6-4. Stanhouse nods. Stretches. Here comes the payoff pitch to Buddy. No, he whirls and does not throw to second base. Dower broke into the bag, and Dade went back. Stanhouse kicking at the rubber, looking down to the ground. Now looks into Skaggs for the sign. Stretches. And 3-2 pitch. Bell takes ball 4. Bases are loaded again.
When you talk about the stage being set.
That is Stanhouse's third walk. Andre Thornton, a fielder's choice of the first for an RBI. His 14th home run in the fourth. Struck out in the fifth. Singled in the eighth. 2 for 4 on the night. Andy hitting 270. He's got the bases loaded. 1 out of the ninth. 6-4 Baltimore. Alexander on deck. Pitch. Foul ball back. 1-1 pitch. High ball 2. It was almost off the glove of Skaggs. Here's the pitch. Hit down the third base line to Descenze around the horn. 1 back to first. A double play, and the game is over. And the Indians are wiped out on the twin killing. No runs, a hit, 2 walks, 2 left. And the final score, Baltimore 6 and Cleveland 4. And Jeff Torborg gets his new contract today, and this is going to add a few new gray hairs because this was a frustrating night. The Indians had the bases loaded with nobody out of the 8th and could not score. And then had the bases loaded with 1 out of the 9th and could not score. Took 3 hours and 1 minute to do it.